requirements. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Place $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
It's time for Sedano and Kap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Kap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys, they're all over me right now. It's like I'm back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Kap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
Beep-ba-da-bop. Boop-ba-da-boop. Do-da-da-da. There he is. Beep-ba-da-boop. Were you not there?
Yeah, I was here.
Oh. I thought you were fighting Fortenball.
No. The big boss was here.
Who's the big boss?
The big boss.
Who's that?
Craig Karmazin.
Oh. CK.
Yes. So I was just saying hello and sharing pleasantries with the big boss. But then I heard bing, bada, bum. Yeah.
And it was time to go.
Ding, da. I had to say to him, I go, hey, man, I got to go bing, bada, boo.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I feel you. So who'd you meet? Who'd you run into that you and I know?
Do you want me to tell you who first, or do you want me to tell you what he said first?
That doesn't make a difference to me, I guess.
Well, it might.
Okay, whatever. Whichever one you think is a better story.
Okay. All right, here it goes. You ready?
Yeah.
So I run into this guy two nights ago.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he said to me, because he said, I'm a sports columnist. And he said, how about you? And I said, I'm a talk radio show host. And he said, where are you at? And I said, ESPN Los Angeles. And he said, I have a friend who works there. I'm like, who's that? And he goes, George Sedano. And I go, oh, okay, nice. He goes, do you know him? I go, I mean, a little bit, not much. I don't know him that well, you know. So he winds up telling me this story. He goes, hey, what do you think about this Luka trade? And I go, it's awesome. This is great, man. This is like the best thing ever, you know. And he goes, the NBA should be looking into this. And I go, the NBA should be looking into what? And he goes, this trade. He goes, it doesn't make sense. You know, why would the Mavericks, if they wanted to trade Luka, why would they not have put him out on the open market, especially where they probably could have gotten so much more for more than what they got from the Lakers? And I said,
remember, he's from Boston, so of course he would think that too. That's part of
but he's not from Boston, just so you know.
He works in Boston.
Yeah, he works in Boston. Yeah. So he goes, the other part of it is, it just the whole deal doesn't make sense. And he goes, and there's probably a reason why Dallas did this.
Yeah.
I said, it seems pretty obvious to me that they focused in on Anthony Davis. They wanted AD. They think he's a better defender. They think that he and Kyrie together would be better than Kyrie working, with Luka. And, obviously everybody has, criticized him on the way out the door for being overweight, according to them.
Right.
He goes, well, there's more to the story. I said, okay, tell me. He goes, well, have you not heard this theory? I said, tell me the theory. He goes, okay. So the people who bought the Mavericks, and you mentioned them the other day, George, but you didn't mention them by name, which would have changed things for me a little bit.
The Adelsons?
The Adelsons.
Yeah, I did mention them by name. I said they own the Sands.
Okay, so Sheldon Adelson was the father, the patriarch
of
this whole thing.
Hold on, DeAndre. Lindsay, did I not mention the Adelsons and said the Adelsons who own the Sands?
You did, yes.
I don't remember you saying the name. I remember
because
you saying
know why?
The people.
You're on Radio Row. You worry about Fortenbaugh trying to stab you in the back.
Well,
okay?
He might. He's right over my shoulder.
You're worried about like a squirrel running by, and by squirrel I mean like a mascot in a squirrel costume or something.
That's possible. That could happen.
You know what I mean? Like or like Ross Tucker walking by or something.
Well, Ross Tucker's all over the place. You nailed that one. I got to give you credit.
I told you, he's the new Gil Brandt.
So this gentleman who says that he knows you pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Ben Volen?
Gosh darn it! Why you take my punchline from me?
Okay.
Because here's what Ben Volen tells me.
Because you would have taken 10 minutes to reveal the end of it.
Well, I was just thinking. You said he wasn't from Boston. Because I know several Boston columnists, right? So I was like, okay, is it Bob Ryan? I'm like, Cappy's probably not running to Bob Ryan in the middle of the night somewhere in New Orleans.
No.
Is it Jackie McMullen? Definitely not running into Jackie McMullen in New Orleans somewhere.
No.
And then I'm thinking it's got to be younger. Then you said did grow up in Boston, so immediately I was like, oh, Ben Volin. Yeah.
Right. So Ben Volin, he's a columnist.
Grew up in South Florida. Yeah.
Right. So he winds up telling me this story. He says, well, the Adelsons, who own the Mavericks now, they are essentially the widow
trying
of
to
Sheldon
lobby.
Adelson.
They're trying to lobby the state of Texas for gambling and casinos.
Right. And if they don't get the casinos in Texas, then what she's going to do is she's going to move the team to Vegas.
Well, I did say that. Were you not on Crosstalk when we talked about this?
I mean, I don't really remember us having this conversation that deeply, but
I do.
On
For me,
Crosstalk, we did. We talked about John and I talked about how there's these Mavericks conspiracy theories.
John
about
went
it.
over this exact same thing, and we brought that up yesterday too.
I know. But I'm just telling you guys that
You
for
weren't
me,
paying attention though.
Well, for me, what happens with me is like this. I pretty much do the show.
Yeah.
And then if somebody says to me 30 seconds after the show,
Yeah.
what did you guys talk about?
You forgot.
I have no idea.
Right.
I'm one of those people that I don't recall.
Yeah.
It's almost as if I have to delete everything right after the show.
Right.
Because there's just not much bandwidth
You're
left up here.
You're like in Men in
Men
Black.
in Black. Yes, I was just going to say that when they just zap
Right,
you,
they erase your
zap
memory.
your memory.
Yeah.
That's
So
you.
your boy Volin,
He believes the conspiracy theory.
he believed it. He was selling it to me. And he thinks, and this is again him telling it to me, there should be like a full-blown investigation over the entire thing because this is just like he described the movie Major League. He's like, and so
Right.
the
That is
widow,
literally the premise that Dallas Mavericks fans have. It's basically Major League, except the Adelsons. The Mavericks have yet to put up, a half-naked picture of the
Right.
Adelsons
And that's
in the locker room where they can strip parts from.
and I don't know what Mrs. Adelson looks like, so I don't know if it's worth doing or not worth doing. I don't know. I have no idea what she looks like.
Yeah.
So, but that's your boy. Your boy comes up to me, and that's what he tells
But
me.
that's like he's been in Boston too long.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. That's all I'd say, dude. You've been in Boston way too
So
long.
he said to me, so he goes, so as far as
like,
Sedano,
let's think about it this way, okay?
Yeah.
Do you believe? Like, I know people will say, "Well, Adam Silver let Clay Bennett take the Seattle SuperSonics to Oklahoma City." Well, it wasn't Adam Silver actually, David Stern. And my response to that was David Stern with Seattle separately had been telling Seattle for years, "Yo, your arena stinks. It's like falling apart. Like something needs to be done." And then Clay Bennett bought the team and then moved it to his hometown of Oklahoma City, and that's how that ended up happening. That's not the case in Dallas. Like that arena is not like what was happening in Seattle, where it was like falling apart. Like
Right.
that arena is like 20-something years old. It's fine. I was just there in the finals last year, and they're not taking the team from the fourth or fifth largest market in the country
Right.
to go to Vegas. Because here's the other thing.
yeah, I can finish this one.
Go ahead.
Whoever winds up ultimately getting the Vegas market is going to pay the NBA and all of their owners
Correct.
a massive
Billions
amount
of
money.
dollars. Yes.
Right. Like
Not
$80
happening.
billion.
right. They're gonna so
$4 or $5 billion easily just
Right.
to get in the door.
this notion that the widow of old man Adelson is going to either get her
I
way
like that as a nice nickname. Widow
Yeah,
of Old
'cause-
Man Adelson.
because I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
But the notion that she is going to either get her way in Texas or she's going to take her ball and go home to Vegas.
Yeah.
If you believe that, good for you. I personally do not. Now, I should actually have a much better radar when it comes to teams moving.
Yeah. Miriam is her name.
Miriam. I never in a million years believed that the Chargers were going to move to L.A. Stupid me.
Right.
You know?
But it's San Diego.
And it was a crappy stadium.
Right.
And it was falling apart.
Right. It's
So-
not Dallas.
No, but it's also not Vegas.
Well,
you
right,
know?
and again, it's also not expansion, which means the new Seattle team, the new Vegas team, they're both going to have to spend $4 or $5 billion just to get in the door. Okay,
Right, because remember, just back to the Charger example, they paid about, I want to say, $700 million. Maybe my math is off here, but it was a pretty big number. Which, by the way, $700 million doesn't sound as big anymore. But they paid a relocation fee.
correct.
So everybody in the NFL was like, okay, if you want to move to LA, you can, but you have to pay us for the rights to the market.
Right.
You know? So this idea that she could, and that's the other part, just one other thing, that this move, at least from the Dallas side, was not made by the general manager. Everybody's talking about the general manager and his relationship with AD and blah, blah, blah.
And Rob, for that matter.
But that this decision were made above the general manager, and the reason that Dallas didn't get more for AD was because the ownership was like, get rid of Luka. We're not paying him. And the reason that they did that, according to this conspiracy theory, was because they're trying to get the team to be so bad that the state of Texas either says, we'll do what you say, because they're worried about the threat of them leaving for Vegas. I don't buy the conspiracy theory.
No, there's no way Adam Silver is letting the Dallas Mavericks leave to Las Vegas. Number one, because he's not letting the team leave the city of Dallas, which is a top 5 major market in the country. And number two, and more importantly, as you pointed out, the money that comes with an expansion franchise.
Yeah. Somebody will pay.
Whether
that's right.
John Henry, the
Red
Boston
Sox?
Red Sox, in his backyard, in Ben Volin's backyard, is front and center with LeBron in his group trying to buy that team, that expansion franchise.
Right. So that's the point, is that just because she owns the team now in Dallas, and just because she's from Vegas and Vegas will eventually get an NBA team, or so we all assume, doesn't mean that she can just pick up her team and move it, especially if the state of Texas doesn't do exactly what she says.
Yeah, it's not how it works.
Well, that's your boy Ben Volin. How
Well,
about
tell
that?
him he's wrong.
Well, I
There's
thought
some
maybe
holes in his conspiracy theory there. A lot of holes.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not even sure it's
so
his, Lindsay.
next time, just FaceTime me,
Okay,
and I'll tell him he's wrong.
you're going to set him straight, huh?
Yeah.
He said to me afterwards, he goes, so how do you really not know Sedano that well? And I go, brother, we're Sedano and Cap.
And Cap was letting him talk his ear
He's
off.
like,
and-
who do you think the Cap is?
Dude,
You know?
I'm the Cap.
Cappy was saying that he was listening to him say all this while he was drinking multiple non-watered down vodka sodas, right?
Yeah, I'd pretty much at that point transitioned from vodka soda to just soda, but I still had it in the cup with the lime in it so that people thought I was still drinking socially.
Yeah.
But in actuality, I
You're
was
just
done
having
drinking.
club soda.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's Club soda is the perfect drink to have in those social settings.
Right.
I've had them many a times where it's like, I'm like, yeah, I just, and by the way, I don't mind club soda. I actually kind of like club soda. I like the fizz in the tummy, especially if you're a little gassy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It helps.
Well, I mean, you know that
like
I
I've
am.
got this one like gassy thing under my rib right now. I actually Googled like, is there like an organ I should be worried about if I bend over and I've got pain in my left? And it's basically said, no, bro, you got gas.
Okay.
Like Google
Gaseous,
just
are
came
ya?
back at me and said, unless it's your spleen, you got gas.
Well, better to be gassy than have that gaseous turn into liquidish. You feel me?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I still haven't been able to put on
Mark
my white
Williams
Skims.
is a Laker, Cappy. Your boy Dalton Connect and Cam Reddish are gone, and that 2031 first-round pick.
Yep.
Let's talk about the trade deadline. Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike is going to join us. Trudell is going to be in the house beginning at 3:45 until about 5 o'clock, so we're going to go knee-deep with the end of the trade deadline.
An update on Evan. He's actually going to come visit Cappy in person now.
Oh, there you go. He's going to go join you, so he's going to join us next from Unsportsmanlike. That's next.
It's a new era and a new buzz around the purple and gold. The Lakers have been rebuilt in less than a week with their new superstar, Luka.
I can't think of a more amazing star.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
After 30 years and more than 20,000 transactions, Seller's Advantage knows how to get you more for your home.
No agent fees, no commissions, just an as-is cash offer.
Call Seller's Advantage or visit sellersadvantage.com.
.2747 or use the website sellersadvantage.com for your free, no obligation cash offer. Sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, yeah. But I did not shoot the deputy.
Oh, Georgie, you don't even understand.
Yeah. Today's Bob Marley Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, happy Bob Marley Day to you.
And it's also National Bubblegum Day.
Okay, happy Bubblegum Day.
National Frozen Yogurt Day. National
Also very
Chopsticks
good.
Day. National
Chopsticks.
Lame Duck Day.
National Lame Duck Day. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. George, here on Radio Row in New Orleans, here at the ESPN setup,
Yeah.
our man Evan Cohen is here.
Right.
And I saw Evan this morning on social media at 4 a.m. Now, I wasn't up at 4 a.m.
Right.
But when I woke up and I went onto Instagram, Evan was talking about what he was doing here at 4 a.m.
Right.
Now it's 5:34 p.m. local time.
And he's back.
He's back.
Right.
Wait a second. I got to
We should
play
probably turn
engineer
him
now.
on.
Hold
Yeah.
on
Come on,
a second
Tulsa.
What's going on here?
All right,
Yeah,
there we go.
what is this? We're on Tulsa here? You don't know how to use a microphone?
Well, yeah, do you not know how to use a microphone? What's your problem?
Well, I don't know. Something's wrong with you from what I've heard
I mean,
from people.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I mean, I will just admit, George, Evan says first thing, hey, did you guys bury the hatchet here?
I don't want to be in the middle of this. I'm friends with
No,
both of you.
Evan is like, oh, I'm friends with everyone.
Well, I literally am, George.
You are, I know,
No,
but I
I'm
get
not
it.
actually-
It's
no,
not an
no.
act, but it's just like so like, who cares? You know what? You should have a rival, okay?
Fine, it's you.
All right, fair enough.
We're rivals
How about this?
now.
How about you tell us about your corporate overlord here real quick before we get into the real stuff we want to talk to you about?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
The
you know
corporate
what?
overlord.
If I have rivals and I need a job, I'm going to go to ZipRecruiter, obviously, because I am here this week thanks to ZipRecruiter. Well done, Sedano. Not your first day on the job. If you're looking to hire out there, they are the best place to go because what they do is they're actually going to find you the candidate. So if you have a job listing and you could do it through ZipRecruiter, they're going to do all their technology that's going to hustle for you and find the people with the right skills and experience for your job. It invites them to apply, which is the best part about it, and they match your job with the best candidates so you can focus on what matters. Try it today. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Our guy Itai is based in L.A., loves ESPN LA, and obviously a part of ZipRecruiter family, which I love to be a part of. So thank you, Sedano.
You're
nice
welcome.
job, George.
There you have it.
Nice job. Evan, so
Cappy.
talk to me here.
I am
Are
currently.
you having a good week? Are you
Yeah,
are you having a good
Are we
week here on
really
Radio
doing
Row?
this? Are you having a good week
All
on
right,
Radio Row?
I'm starting things off here.
I've met you about 1,000 times.
This isn't some random person you don't know.
I'm saying, start me off with, are you having a nice week?
You know what, Sedano?
Forget about it. Forget
Sedano,
the nice
I have
week.
a new rival. It's Cappy.
Here we go.
There it is.
Here we go. Here we go. Hebrew on Hebrew love is what
Wow.
that is.
Wow.
Tell us
Right.
about the parties, Evan. You getting into any
No,
parties?
he's not going to any parties.
Dude, this guy's got to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Even if I didn't, George is right. I will say, George and I went to many of when neither of us were doing mornings, because he's done mornings. I have to do mornings, obviously. We've been to many of Super Bowl parties together.
Yeah. One time where Craig Karmazin almost was trying to get me the Clippers job one time with Donald Sterling back in the day.
Oh, that
Do you remember that, Evan?
Yeah, well, there's been some weird ones. If you're going to bring up Craig, and Craig is literally like right over there. There was one night somehow Craig and Nicole Richie were going to go to Taco Bell.
What?
No, that is not a joke. Craig Karmazin, CEO of Good Karma Brands. Somehow Nicole Richie, this was in Jacksonville.
Oh, my God, that's going back a long ways.
And the late, great DJ AM was DJing this party. And I think she was dating him at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Dating Craig?
No.
The
what?
DJ AM, man.
Oh.
What?
I was thinking that Nicole Richie was dating Craig, and you know what I was going to say to that? That's hot. Keep going.
That's actually good.
Oh, my gosh.
It's so corny that I like it.
Thank you.
So anyway, there was something where I guess he was out doing his DJ set. She walks out of this party that we're at in Jacksonville for the Super Bowl, and she's like, I'm really craving Taco Bell. And he's like, all right, I'll take you. And so they were walking to the car, and then I guess some security people took her away where she wasn't allowed. But literally, Craig and Nicole Richie were going to go to Taco Bell in the middle of the night.
So you want a funnier story? I've told this story in the air, but Evan, I don't think you know this story. So you know O'Shea Jackson Jr. obviously is a big part of the station, right?
Yeah.
So when that Super Bowl in Jacksonville, Craig and Steve and I sat in the stadium together. And we were seated kind of. They had seats, and they invited me to sit with them. I think you might have been there too. I'm guessing.
Oh wait, hold on, stop for a second. This is amazing. I didn't remember that you were with them. I had to sit alone.
Oh.
They had like 4 or 5 tickets in one section,
Yeah.
and then literally a singular ticket in another section.
Yeah.
And I had to sit in. I didn't realize Sedano took my seat.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
took your seat. So anyway, I was seated in the aisle on the lower level, whatever it was, 30, 40-yard line or whatever with them. And then on the other side of the aisle, was Ice Cube and Little O'Shea.
Oh, I remember this now. Yes, keep going.
Yeah, and that was it. I told O'Shea.
That's where it is. That was the whole story.
I said,
O'Shea and
I met
Little
you when
O'Shea.
you were a little kid. You just didn't know who I was at the time.
You're 1,000% right.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the Raiders jersey to a
Right.
Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl in Jacksonville.
Oh, man. That reminds me, that year was what, 2003, 2004,
I think
5?
2005 game. Yeah.
You know, the Eagles, you think about it, because I forgot about that Super Bowl, because that was the Donovan McNabb, that was the T.O. comeback game, right?
Yeah, T.O. was playing on a broken leg, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and Andy Reid was the coach of that Eagles team.
Correct.
You know, you think about the
Donovan
Eagles.
McNabb vomited.
It was, what is it like? Is it 3 Super Bowls for the Eagles in the last 8 years or something like that? So everybody talks about these ticket prices dropping out here, and I haven't seen any Kansas City Chiefs fans. There are no Kansas City Chiefs fans here that I've seen walking the streets, and there are a lot of Eagles fans, but I guess there's probably not a lot of competition between the two fan bases to buy whatever tickets. Kansas City fans are probably like, no, I was at the Super Bowl last year, or I was at the Super Bowl the year before.
Yeah, but this is the big one. You can set a record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the Eagles fans are like, hey, we got to go there and stop this thing. We got to derail this Kansas City train. And so I've only seen Eagles fans here, and I don't know that there's the competition out there for the tickets, which is why at least I think the ticket prices are dropping.
I don't think Evan cares about the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. He's all focused on the NBA trade deadline.
Well,
that is true.
I want to say one thing. The NBA has completely commandeered Super Bowl week.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's been great.
And if you just like to watch this stuff like I do, I got to give it up to the NBA.
It's been awesome.
The NFL took Christmas from them, and they came back and they took Super Bowl week from the NFL.
I mean, think about the type of stars that have moved at the NBA trade deadline. We have never had an NBA trade deadline like this. Never in the history of the sport. I mean, Luka by himself obviously would have made that happen, but then you look at all the all-star caliber players that have moved as well. It's been insane.
Eight different All-Stars.
Yeah.
I also think, obviously, home of the Lakers here, and the Lakers did such unbelievable things because I think, and I've said this on Unsportsmanlike, and I'll continue to say this, the single smartest thing the Los Angeles Lakers have done was draft Bronny James. Because I truly – no, I'm serious.
He's not joking. I've heard this take before.
Yeah. George and I have talked about this. I think that night they took their franchise back.
You're going to speak Cappy's language. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, you're –
lay this out for me.
Yeah, you
Cap thinks they got it back last
similar
night.
in that we like the kind of takes that make no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
the
is
kinds that really piss George off.
Yeah, this is right up our alley. Here's my theory.
Let me hear it.
They draft Bronny.
Yeah.
They hire J.J. Redick, who's obviously done a great job this year. And at that point, they have to figuratively say to LeBron, that's it. We've done everything we possibly can do for you.
Yeah.
Okay? So now it's our franchise. And guess what, LeBron? We want you a part of this. This is not our franchise versus you. This is our franchise with you. But what we don't now have to do is run anything by you anymore.
Because we've already given you what you wanted.
We've given you, and to be fair, he has earned that. This is not like, hey, we're going to give some random this.
Keep going. Once you get a Sedano side, let
I'm
me tell you
ignoring
something.
it.
Everything you're saying must be right because he doesn't like it. So
Right.
keep going.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. So they draft Bronny.
Right.
It's their franchise.
Yeah.
They can make that move with Luka because I believe, in my heart of hearts, LeBron James would have stopped the move, even though he knows it's better for the franchise long
Evan,
term.
we get it.
No, keep going.
Let me ask
You're
you a
doing
question.
great.
Let me
You're doing
ask you a question. Besides being on unsportsmanlike, you are a executive at Good Karma Brands, correct?
Yeah, I don't know how that's relevant to any of this.
I'm
but let's hear.
I'm going to make an example that that is going to dismiss this notion that you are putting out there. Like
I'm buying everything
the
you're selling.
circumstances
I'm not even done selling you.
the
Thanks.
circumstances dictate what has transpired here, okay? So, what I would say to you is this. If Craig Karmazin came to you and said, "Evan, we are going to bring Christopher Mad Dog Russo to Good Karma Brands." Not his son, the father, okay? Because the son is obviously already part of it. The father. But you can't tell a soul, okay? If you tell a soul, it's going to get out, and then we're going to lose our chance to be first to market at Christopher Mad Dog Russo, whose deal is coming up, and he wants to be here. He wants to do a show with his son, let's just say, okay? That's exactly what happened to Rob Pelinka, okay? They came to him and said, "Rob, this has to be between you and me and the two owners, because if it gets out, you lose your shot. You will never get your chance at Luka Doncic." That's what this is about. This has less to do about LeBron and control, and this has to do with the circumstance of the lottery ticket falling from the sky.
I understand what you're saying. I'm going to go on your example, Sedano. In that hypothetical, if I didn't feel like I had hand in this, power in this, I'd be petrified to go through with it because in my head I wouldn't want Mad Dog to despise me, to hate me, or whatever it is, whatever I could do to ruin this. I think there's a part of Pelinka that previously is like, oh my God, what if I make a move that LeBron won't like?
Oh,
even
yeah.
if I think it's obvious.
Really? He already did that. It was called Kyrie Irving when him and his agent went to Rich
That was
Paul.
a much easier move because
right, but Rich Paul
he was
literally
toxic at
told
that
Brian
time.
Windhorst on the record. He said, like, on the record, he said to him, "We'd love to play." When Kyrie said, "LeBron, come to Dallas," he's like, "We'd love to play with Kyrie, but it has to be here in L.A."
Right, and Wendy told that story in the Hoop Collective podcast recently, the other day actually, about it was a game 2 or something in Denver, the Miami-Denver finals is when that actually happened. But Kyrie at that time was unbelievably toxic, so it was probably an easier decision. But the overall point that I'm making,
this was past him being quote-unquote toxic because he was already been in Dallas for a while.
he still was toxic in that first year.
Okay, you can make the argument you weren't, but he was playing at a very high level for them, and people were starting to realize, oh, Kyrie can still ball.
I still will stand on the idea that by drafting Bronny, they take the power back. They're able to make decisions for the long term now, not the short term. And LeBron, I believe they want LeBron to be a part of the long term. The other thing is, the easy conversation is the Luka conversation. The harder conversation is how good Mark Williams could be for this team if he's healthy. Because that guy is really good. And that guy likes to rebound and lob threats and all the dirty work. Not to be confused with that great Artie Lang and Norm Macdonald movie back in the day.
That was a life-changing film.
It was a great
Yeah,
movie.
I mean,
was
life
phenomenal.
changing.
Did it win at Cannes?
Kind of like
Is that
right
what
up there
it-
with
yeah,
like
it was
Home
a
Alone.
Cannes
You know what I
Film
mean?
Festival
It's
winner?
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think the Lakers have had a phenomenal week.
Phenomenal.
Let me tell you something.
Hey, real quick, before you tell us something,
Phenomenal.
let me tell people about Books, Cappy, real
Please
quick.
do.
And we can just keep going. At this
All
point.
right, good.
Michael
You got more
Trudell
time?
is in here as well, by
All
the
right,
way.
good.
He's just arrived. So
He's in
we
the-
get
now it's
everybody
me and
in
you
on the
against
conversation.
Sedano and Trudell.
Okay.
I love Trudell.
Yeah, I know,
great.
but it's
2
you
on
and
2
me
now, yeah.
believing the same thing, and these two believing the same thing.
No, I think
Michael
Trudell,
will,
I
Michael
think
is
Trudell
not.
is,
Michael has his own beliefs. Okay.
but I think Trudell will hear our point without a sigh.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we'll
Oh
get
no,
the
I will
sigh
sigh.
from Trudell.
I'll
No.
sigh
Yeah.
right up the side of your.
Ew.
You will.
Ew.
Head.
Trudell
Gross.
won't.
Gross.
We'll see about that.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm gonna get a sigh
Yeah.
aside from
A
Trudell.
Trudell sigh.
Yeah.
Is this Evan Cohen?
It is Evan.
Oh, I mean, I'm a big fan, so I can't promise.
So don't
that I won't
sigh.
agree
Don't
with
give me
him.
the sigh.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, though, let me tell you about tackling the age-old question. What do you get your significant other for Valentine's Day? Well, don't stress. We've got the answer for you here. Send foolproof flowers from the Books Company and wow your Valentines and get 25% off your entire purchase. All you got to do is go to Books.com. That's BOUQS.com. Use the promo code ESPN. You get 25% off. Good to go. Books makes it simple. Choose the Quickie Book. With a click of a button, you'll get the best-selling bouquet right on time for Valentine's Day. It's the Quickie they'll brag about for weeks. Or you can pick from their collection of unique, modern designs or go for their flowers subscription. It's the #1 life hack and be the hero every month. You really can't go wrong. Books, by the way, not just flowers, okay? Their flowers are cut fresh, and they grow the best from the best flower farms in the world, including the side of a freaking volcano, okay? So they'll be blown away by how stunning they are and how long they last. Valentine's Day is February 14th, right after the big game, so don't fumble the flowers. Get your order in now. Go to Books.com. Use our promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN. That's Books, promo code ESPN. All right, we're back. So Sedano, Cap, Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, everyone's favorite sideline reporter, Michael Trudell, is in the house as well. Cappy, where's Trudell in your sideline rankings now?
Right now, Trudell is at number 4.
Number 4.
Yep. He's
Okay.
behind Lisa Salters.
Okay.
Okay.
She's a Hall of Fame type sideline reporter.
He's behind Pam Oliver.
Also Hall of Fame type sideline reporter.
Okay. And I have to, just out of, loyalty, I have to put Michael Trudell behind you, George.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
I
won't
I
argue with you.
recently did sidelines for the Boca Bowl on ESPN Radio.
Oh, really?
Evan
Yeah.
Cohen did do sidelines for the Boca Bowl.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, then
right.
that just moves Mike down another
Feels
notch.
getting
Okay.
more
But-
crowded.
Yeah.
as
But,
we
Mike,
speak.
still in front of Erin Andrews, just so you know.
Okay.
Well, that's
Thanks,
because she
Cappy.
doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
I mean-
reason for
Well,
that.
that power ranking list is long from what I gather.
Oh, yeah,
Those
there's
who
a,
don't
there's a
like
lot to
Cappy.
it. There's
Yeah,
a lot
there's
to
a
that
lot.
one.
Well,
we have a listener who keeps track.
There is a
Evan.
listener, Radio Michael, who keeps track of Cappy's
All
blood
my
feud.
beefs.
Yeah.
I used to have Sedano higher on my list until I learned that he's parachuting in to try and take the potential Luka Doncic walk-off interview on Saturday from Spectrum.
Yeah, well, not
with the
my
big
fault.
network.
I go where I'm told, basically. But yeah, it
Yeah.
will be.
Oh,
yeah,
is that a
Trudell's like
competition,
ESPN's
Trudell?
taking ESPN's taking our game, and I'm like, well, you're gonna hate to hear that I'm actually doing the game.
Well, it made me
Wait, so
actually
how
feel a
does
little
that
better.
work? Who gets the first crack at Luka?
Network.
George.
No,
That
yeah,
would be
so
me.
The national network, the national broadcast gets the #1 preference.
And
we
he's
get the
going to be
number 2.
wearing his Lucas, so because LeBron commented on his shoes, so we got to
Yeah.
have him wearing the Lucas.
That's probably going to happen.
Got to go with the green
We'll
suit
see.
then.
We'll see. I mean, we don't know yet if Luka's going to play. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Boy, I bet Mike's hoping that Luka doesn't play.
He's like, can Luka wait to get the
No,
Jazz?
Look, I'll get plenty of time with Luka. I think
He
the Lakers
will.
gonna
You
win a
have
lot of
way
games.
more Luka time than anybody.
I would like to see him play. The sooner the better. But we'll see how he's feeling.
All right,
Saturday.
so go ahead, Evan. Basically, Evan's premise is
No, you can't spin it.
No, I can do it
negatively.
fast.
He will.
I do. Evan's premise is that basically the Lakers have taken back their franchise the day that they drafted Bronny because now they don't have to clue in LeBron on everything.
Listen to the tone.
And
I know, so negative.
It's exactly what you said, is it not?
Objection.
I know, but the
Objection.
way, like, Trudell is sitting here listening to this for the first time, hearing it positioned by
Okay,
you.
and then I
With
said,
bias.
and I said, no, this is basically a lottery ticket falling from the sky, and a person telling you, if you tell anyone that I'm going to give you this lottery ticket, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to and then someone else will get it. That's what happened here.
George, with all due respect, I would like to hear from Evan. I would like.
Go
to
ahead.
Hear, yeah.
Nice.
you.
But do
Go
it
ahead,
like
Evan.
quick, because we only got like 7 minutes here.
Okay, basically here I said, right, that the Lakers drafting of Bronny, looking back on it, was the best move they could make because they have now done everything for LeBron. And they basically said, we've done everything for you. We want you a part of this basically forever, but there are going to be some decisions that we are now going to make without consultation of you, and we can do that now because of everything we have now done for you. And I believe if he was consulted on the Luka trade, he would know it's the right move to make, but I believe his loyalty to Anthony Davis may have screwed up that trade.
I agree with everything you've said, and where I feel stupid is that I didn't think to myself that drafting Bronny was the take the organization back. I said that if the reports were true, that they didn't consult with LeBron, that was the organization saying we're taking it back. And actually, I think you outsmarted me. I agree with everything you said, Evan.
Okay.
Aside.
Well, there was a side.
Like,
A
what is
Trudell side.
A Trudell side.
It's a sideline side.
I'm telling you right now, it's Trudell and Sedano against Cohen and Kaplan.
This is the same way when I turn on my radio and I get in the car. Actually, I listen on the app and I hear Cappy talking about some conspiracy theory about owners. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? This is not that complicated. We heard from Nico. We heard from Rob. We know what happened. Nobody was consulted. They got the job done. I think Pelinka did a pretty good job in that negotiation. Luka Doncic is a Laker. LeBron seems to be, while very upset as everybody is about losing Anthony Davis and Max Christie, totally understands why they would get Luka Doncic. It's not that complicated.
I think it's a little more complicated.
Okay.
I mean, you're probably right about everything you just said, but I just think if you're overthinking things,
which I like to do.
Right, no, but I'm even saying in the case of Pelinka with LeBron, what does he think? What does he think? What does she think? Whatever it may be, it's harder to make decisions. And I think it's easier to eliminate voices if you feel empowered.
Well, the way that LeBron has played since the trade, and specifically in the Clipper game, where he's making all of his low man rotations on defense, he is looking over at Luka Doncic every time he scores in a give-and-go action and gets downhill into the rim. Like I think his play showed us how he feels about this move and the degree of consultation, which I think is pretty clear. There was not discussion between him and anybody else. So I think that he has showed with his play how he feels about this move, and I think that it's all of that stuff. We can have any kind of thought-provoking discussion we want on it. Bottom line, though, is all of it makes very, very clear sense, and the Lakers have a pretty good chance now to compete for a title this year and into the future.
Oh no! And by the way, the other thing that if I'm a Lakers fan and I'm listening right now and I'm thinking about the last couple of trades they made, knowing how much they had left to trade for Mark Williams, and they got Luka, is unbelievable. I mean, and I don't care about the future pick if I'm the Laker fan right now because I'm guaranteed that Luka's going to keep me out of the lottery.
Right. As long as he doesn't opt out and test free agency, then you don't know.
Right. But it's more likely than not if that happens that it would have to be a sign and trade in some cases, maybe not in one with the 305.
Well, no, because he could get the same money pretty much anywhere.
Well, now he can, yeah, but that doesn't mean everybody has that money.
Oh, no, agreed. That part, yes.
Yeah, well, you also know whether or not somebody decides to sign their extension or not.
Well, you'll know a year in advance, yeah, for sure.
So, so I mean, I think there certainly would be confidence, I think. There aren't many guys who come in to get to be the guy with the Lakers and are like, I'm gonna go try somewhere else.
Hey, let me just say one thing, though. Whether what you're saying is right, Evan, and I know it's a theory, and I buy the theory,
of course,
or what Mike and George are saying is right, and that no one was really told, and that they just buy everything that they're hearing, I'll just say this. The one thing the Lakers did, that first, in getting Luka, they prepared the organization for the post-LeBron era. That was kind of the thing we were saying just as it happened. But the trade yesterday for this guy, Mark Williams, I thought it was an interesting point that Dalton Connect is older than Williams, and Williams has been in the NBA for 2 years now? So they have really, George, to your point about keeping LeBron longer and maybe LeBron wanting to play longer.
Yeah, he could Luka could extend LeBron's career.
They've just put two babies on his team, a 25-year-old Luka and a 23-year-old Williams. They just gave him a couple of children to play with.
And let's be honest, everybody's getting bigger and bigger in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
and
size is back.
Yeah, Dalton connects. It's like the running backs in the NFL, honestly. Like the centers and the running backs, if you look at it, they've kind of gone at the same pace. The running backs went away. Everybody's going away from the running backs. Now, if you have a good quarterback, you pay a running back. Same thing with the centers. And it's easier to duplicate, I think, Dalton Connect's skill set than it is Mark Williams' skill set.
Well, so look, I like those points, and I think that Williams.
No sigh from Trudell. That's good.
Very
for me.
good.
Yeah,
Williams from a start. Well, look, I mean, you're a great NBA mind. Cappy, he knows a lot about other things.
Hey, listen, I'm coming at it from a completely different angle. I can tell you that
you
right
can't
now.
be an expert about everything. Cappy knows a lot about a lot of other things. But so here, the thing I think that's underrated about this current Laker team. Dorian Finney-Smith is a really good player. Like, we've seen that since he came over. Jared Vanderbilt is a good basketball player. He had been hurt, not been on the court. Gabe Vincent, now that he's actually had some time to play, as George saw in Miami, is a good rotation basketball player. Those three bring an edge to them that I think that's helped LeBron in this most recent stretch. Now you add it's crazy to call Luka like youth. I mean, he's been All NBA 5 times now. He was a pro when he was 15, but a younger guy. And then you bring in Williams. It's a lot of good players. It's 9 legit rotation players, and they have an opportunity now to add on to the end of the roster since you put Cam Reddish in that deal, and that's now a roster spot that you can use for something else. You could convert a two-way. You could get a buyout guy. You could get somebody who isn't playing right now. So all of that together just changes the depth of this team and the kind of the nasty factor when you consider all that.
Can I just ask everybody this question, though?
Yeah, real quick, because we got to do prize picks.
We had been talking about, do you make a move? Yes, if it can turn you into a championship contender. Do you guys all agree that these moves have made the Lakers, on paper, a championship contender this year?
I mean, I think they can get. I think a reasonable expectation is, considering that they're putting this thing together very late in the game, I would say, like, if they got to the conference finals in the first year, in the first half season with this group, I would feel like it would be a tremendous success.
Yeah, short answer. There's no question they are a contender. I think like OKC, you probably still handicap if healthy #1 in the West.
Right.
And
Denver is going to be in the mix.
Then you have Denver and the Lakers.
Right.
And I wouldn't pick any other team to beat them in a series, and I think they've got a really good chance to beat OKC and a chance to beat Denver. I mean, guys, this is a mad Luka Doncic coming in.
Yeah.
And it's not like the rest of the roster has all of these holes.
Yeah.
I think they're absolutely a title contender. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you have the guy that literally took the Mavs to the finals last year, and he's playing, in my mind, with the second greatest player of all time. Like, and I don't care that he's 40, 41. He's still playing like one of the best players in the league. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's – now, here's the interesting thing about the Lakers, and I'm coming in, outside looking in as a non-LA guy. I think this is the first time in my life that I can remember that the Los Angeles Lakers are title contenders without the pressure to win the title. Think about what.
Yeah, well, this year, yes, correct.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
this year
not
specifically.
I'm not
George.
scoffing at that take.
This year, yes, I would agree.
I don't
scoff. No scoff, no sigh.
Like, I almost think they had more pressure on them if AD was still there,
Oh,
even though they would have no shot to do it.
Correct. Yeah, this buys them a little, like, anything here. I mean, not anything. Like, you don't want to get swept in the first round, right? Like, that would be embarrassing. But, like, anything anything past the first round, considering this has just been thrown together, depending on who the opponent is, I think is going to be looked at fondly.
I mean, the only thing I would add, and as George and Cappy know very well, I am a massive Anthony Davis defender and think that he is completely
me
underrated.
too. Terminal
still.
H, I created it.
Yeah, I mean, he's ridiculous. So I think that if
down.
you don't do the Luka move, you do some other move to strengthen this team. And this team, look, guys, this team is 10 games above 500 without Luka. So I think they had a chance to compete if they made a different move, but now they made the best move.
Where are all those people who ripping me for saying, "Oh, you're just defending your buddy JJ Redick for being the coach"? Huh?
I mean,
it looks all right now, huh?
No, they're out there.
Doesn't
They're
look
still
so
there.
bad
Cappy
anymore.
and I are right here.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah.
We're going to sigh at that.
Yeah. All right, Evan, are you sticking around or are you leaving?
You ain't
gotta
going
go.
anywhere. Where are you going?
I have to be at a dinner right now at 6 o'clock, and it's 5:59.
All right. Well, for me, it's only 4 o'clock.
Well, 5:59 this time.
Okay,
sorry.
got it. All right, George, let's do prize picks.
Bye, Evan.
See you,
Evan.
Thanks,
All
Evan.
right, Cappy, Prize Picks.
Yeah.
It's very simple, okay? You want sports action in the state of California? Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play, you get a $50 bonus. Man, you can win up to 1,000 times your money in as little as 4 picks. And when you want that money, you can get your money back within 15 minutes? Is that real? Yes, it is real. Within 15 minutes, Cappy, you can get your cash.
Okay, here's what I want to tell everybody. Here comes the big game, the last football game of the season. So let me ask you this, George. You suppose that Patrick Mahomes is going to pass for more than half a yard?
I feel fairly certain that's the case.
Okay, they're giving you a free square. So they've taken the biggest star in the game. They've essentially given you an easy win. So if you took Patrick Mahomes at more than half of a yard, because you can't play him for less, and you took, let's just say, Saquon Barkley for more than 115 rushing yards, and he got it, you're already at 3-1 on your money. So make sure you download the Prize Picks app. You use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. You make your first $5 play. You get a $50 bonus. And for this Sunday, you got that Patrick Mahomes free square. You automatically are going to win that one. Use it.
So download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. First $5 play gets a $50 bonus. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun?
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Somar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text LION to 321321. That's LION to 321321.
Hey, it's DeFar. Is there a sporting event you always wanted to go to but never had time to plan? That's where Absolute Sport comes in. They handle everything, tickets, hotels, VIP access, so you can just live in the moment and enjoy the experience. And because of their trusted league and travel partnerships, they can get you the best deals and actually save you money. So what are you waiting for? Visit us.absolute-sport.com, that's ABSOLUT-sport, and make your sports dream a reality.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, just 90 minutes from wherever you are. Sedano and Cap here with Mike Trudell.
Hey, Cappy.
Mike Trudell. Lindsay, what do you got?
Well, guys, on the NBA on TNT right now, they have just drafted the All-Star teams. So with this year's All-Star format, they've got 3 teams. You got Team Shaq, Team Kenny, and Team Chuck. And I'm not going to read all of them out, but
Wait, where I got to find this. Hold on.
Team
NBA
Shaq,
TNT.
he's got like the All-NBA Hall of Famer team. He drafted LeBron, Steph, AD, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and I got to find the last 2.
Oh, sorry.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. But can you, so AD and LeBron will be playing together once again on Team Shaq at the All-Star game.
Okay.
And then they're also going to be playing with KD, so it's like,
Yeah, Kenny's got the worst team.
Yeah, by far.
By a lot.
Except Evan Mobley.
And then Chuck's, I like Mobley. Mobley's been excellent this year. Chuck's got Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Wemby. So Chuck's basically got the all-international team, Siakam, Şengün. The only Americans he has are Cat and Mitchell.
I think Chuck's team may win. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck, so it's basically, but
like the old guys versus the young international team.
But like
basically.
LeBron, AD, Steph, Tatum, Durant, Lillard, Brown, like that
He's got the old heads.
Solid too. Yeah, it's basically like what you would do
Young versus
USA.
old.
If you just swapped Anthony Edwards for Harden, then you would have Team USA's best versus the international best.
Correct.
Which is how they actually should have done it.
That's how they should be. Because here's the thing.
Cat
Nowadays,
is Dominican and Mitchell is Panamanian.
Yeah.
True, but I'm saying, they were born in the U.S.
Sure.
Like they have heritage. But
Yeah,
yes.
just trying to
But you could do that
Local
game.
guys.
You could do the international game. I actually think, to your point,
from here.
they used to do it in hockey, and I thought it was actually really smart when they did it in hockey for their All-Star game. So, I think you have so many. Honestly, if you look at the MVP list, 3 or 4 out of the top 5 guys are going to be international guys anyway.
No, it's been like the top 5 for the last couple of years, and now you're adding Wemby into it, who, by the way, is already in the top 7 at worst.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that they didn't pre-plan this.
It doesn't. I'm not usually conspiracy theory, but I'm like, it does look like unless they just got down and it was starting to look like that, and they're like, all right, fine, I'll just keep taking the international guys.
But think about this: Charles is always the guy propping up the international guys because he says they play the right way, this, that, and the other. And then Shaq's kind of like
the old head.
Old head. So he's going to take the old guys because he's like, these are my guys. I played against them. That kind of stuff.
Chuck.
Well, and by the way,
take all these guys, Chuck.
If he were healthy, of course, Luka would replace either Mitchell or Cat in that team, right? Then you just add Luka to the team that already has Jokic and Giannis and Shea and Wemby. I mean, that's the favorite.
So one of these teams is going to play the Rising Stars team, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, whoever wins the Rising Stars portion
will play one of these
teams to play one.
Well,
of them,
they should play either Chuck or Shaq's team because you want to have those two teams to potentially face each other in the finals.
100%.
Yeah, you got to set it up that way.
Yes, it's got to be Team Kenny versus the winner of the Rising Star. Oh, I'm sorry,
no,
the other way around. Either Shaq,
Shaq or
like
Barkley with either the old heads or the international team facing the Rising Stars, and then the other one will face Kenny's team, beat them, and then that way you can get Shaq versus Chuck in the end.
Exactly.
The old heads versus international.
Exactly.
By the way, George, since you're going to be a part of all of the NBA
Oh, that's
All-Star
right. I
festivities,
am going to be dealing with all this. I should probably bone up on the rules.
Yeah, get to know it.
We
I
got
don't
to
know
get
what the deal is.
Yeah, we got to get either Shaq or Chuck on ahead of the game next week. Like maybe Wednesday or Thursday. You FaceTime them live on the air.
That might be tough.
When are you going up there?
Friday night after the show.
George's travel schedule. He was going over it again, and it's making my head spin.
Yeah. Friday night after the show.
Valentine's Day, huh? You better get them books, buddy.
Oh, you
I already got the
them.
books, bro.
Yeah, you got. The
I
books,
gave
bro?
DeAndre some books.
They're good. I will tell you, they
DeAndre
are
ordered
good.
I mean,
his
Beto
girls
was
some
going to go and
boots.
take the books and sell them for $1 on the street.
Oh, I love that idea. I got books over here.
Entrepreneurs.
I got books. Who needs books? I got books over here.
You
All right,
heard
let me ask
Sedano
you.
talking about him.
I want to ask a question to my two NBA insiders here today.
Sure, Cappy.
Guys, look, I'm not embarrassed to admit that I didn't know who Mark Williams was, okay? So I had to go in and do some research, and I can just look at the numbers. And the numbers that I'm happy about are 7.0, 7 feet tall. Here's a couple other numbers. 2'3", 23, 240, 240 pounds. You're talking about a 23-year-old kid who's 7 feet tall and 240 pounds. Then I look at the numbers. Points per game, almost 16. Rebounds per game, almost 10. I don't know that on the Lakers he's a 16-10 guy, at least not scoring. I mean, maybe rebounding. So you guys have watched him play, I'm sure. I mean, I didn't know his career at Duke. I don't watch Charlotte Hornets basketball. I've heard about the injuries. So I'm looking for you guys to scout out for me and everybody like me who really is unfamiliar with this young man, tell me more than just the numbers that we can all read.
Well, look, he's athletic. He's a lob threat, vertical spacer. He can defend the rim. He's got a 7'7" wingspan. I talked to one of a coach who coached against him in high school. He's from the Virginia Beach area. He talked about how he has an outside game. He just doesn't show it very much in the NBA because he's just not asked to do that. But there is a skill level there that he showed a little bit at Duke at times, but has not shown it a ton of in the NBA because it's not been required of what he can do. But that he is still very much in the growing phase of his game. And yeah, like he's a good addition to this team, no doubt.
So yeah, George just mentioned he's from Virginia. He's from about 30 miles away from where Dorian Finney-Smith is from, which is like close to Newport News, which is where AI is from and everything. And then JJ also is from Virginia, a little bit different like part of town, but there's some of a connection there. He to me, Cappy, like the last month, he's averaging about 18 points, 12 rebounds, like a block and a half, and that's on playing on a Charlotte team that at times, yes, they had LaMelo Ball to set him up, but LaMelo's been out for a lot of that portion. So, like, he's a screen roll monster. He's now going to be playing with LeBron James and Luka Doncic, who you just cannot get guys that can find you with better passing angles. He's amazing on the offensive glass. Now, he still has a lot of work to do defensively, as most young bigs do, kind of just figuring out where exactly to be and when, how to move his feet in the perimeter and still collapse and get back to the rim. So there are things there. He's been banged up a lot, so like that's a part of it where I've got to get track on just his body and making sure that he's on the court. But like the fact that he's 23, he's like 6 or 8 months younger than Dalton Knecht. There's still a lot I think that can be gained from him moving forward. And maybe the most important thing, George, he's still on his rookie deal, which is part of the reason why you can add him to a team like this and not have to give up a key rotation piece, whether that was a Rui Hachimura or a Gabe Vincent, like somebody that you really want in your rotation. And so I think, it's unfortunate to lose Dalton Knecht, just like with Anthony Davis especially, and then Max Christie. But the fit coming in here, a big bruising center who can take up those minutes with the starters, and then you can come in with that smaller group with Vanderbilt and Finney-Smith. Like, it makes a pretty complete basketball team, I think.
And look, he comes from a great family. Sister also played at Duke. She was a 4-year All-American at Duke. She was like the number 4 pick in the WNBA draft. She plays for Chicago, I believe. I mean, they're a basketball family for sure.
And you'd think, Cappy, that JJ. Now, JJ of course hasn't talked in this. The trade, nothing is official yet.
Right. Yeah.
But once
hashtag
the league goes
brotherhood of Duke.
But like you would think that JJ has some inroads and just some knowledge about Williams.
Yes.
I know McMenamin had a tweet about some mentorship type relationship, but like I have already, George, started to kind of trust what JJ can get out of guys because we've already seen evidence of it this year, and that's another encouraging factor in this.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some more questions.
All right, how about we do those questions on the other side? How about that?
Yeah, for sure. I got other questions.
Okay, more Cappy questions.
Looking forward to this, Cappy.
Okay, more Cappy questions, but first, Cappy, tell us about Seller's Advantage.
All right, see, now I've got answers. See what I'm saying? Right now I got answers for people that want to sell their home. If you want to sell your home, that's your deal, right? Why? Maybe you're like me and your kids have all graduated high school, they're off to college, and you are now an empty nester. Maybe your mom and dad are no longer here. They left you a home. You don't want to live in it. You don't want to pay the property taxes on it. You don't want to play landlord. Maybe it's time for a change in your life, a change of scenery. Or maybe, hey, you're going to retire and you want to move out of the state of California and move someplace less expensive. Or maybe you want to stay in the state of California. You just want to downsize. Whatever your reason is for selling, that's for you to decide. But the question is, how are you going to do it? And Seller's Advantage will make it as fast and as easy as anybody can possibly make it. And here's what they're going to do. They're going to come to your home, they're going to look around, and then they're going to make you a competitive cash offer. They know what the comps say. They know what the other houses in the neighborhood are selling for, and then they're going to make you an offer. And that offer is going to be, hey, look, you don't have to paint. You don't have to change the carpets. You don't have to change the floors. You don't have to fix anything up. You don't have to do anything. Here's the offer. And if you like the offer, you're going to take it, and this thing is going to happen real fast because they pay in cash. You don't have to worry about complicated closing processes. You don't have to worry about the deal falling through. They pay in cash. And let me tell you something. They'll even give you extra motivation. Hey, let's move this along quickly. Here's $10,000 for moving expenses. So if this all sounds good to you, call Seller's Advantage. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747 for your no-obligation offer, or go to sellersadvantage.com.
Some of the biggest names in NBA history played for the purple and gold.
Chamberlain, West, Kareem, Magic.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
To have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers' Rights.
833-ESPN 710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah.
My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
All right, Sedano and Kap, Trudell's in the house.
Cap, what are you wearing? Just curious.
Well, you want to turn me on YouTube?
Well, no, because it's on the other side, you know, where George is. I'd rather just kind of tell us.
By the way, this was the release of this album in 2003?
Yep, my junior year in college, man. We're playing beer pong down in the basement of the Chi Psi fraternity at Northwestern to this song.
50 Cent, 2003.
You're a Chi Psi brother, huh?
That whole banger, that whole album.
It was a banger, yeah.
Chi Psi, buddy, yeah. Now,
Nice.
you know, look, fraternities at Northwestern, it's like more of just like a very low-pressure social club. It's not like the SEC, okay?
Gotcha.
There's not like a lot of hazing.
Right.
It's like, I got exams tomorrow, so can't participate.
Right,
In this
you're
event.
like at a
Everyone's
nerd
like,
school.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
The nerd schools, it's not, you know, there's not a lot of a lot of that stuff. But there was beer pong to many men in 50 Cent.
Michael, I'll have you know I'm wearing a very old guy kind of sweater routine tonight.
The cardigan
You know?
or
No, not a cardigan.
Pullover?
I mean, I don't want to take George's act. I mean, I'm not going to do what he did the other day where he rocked that cardigan when he was interviewing Luca.
Yeah, look good.
I told him he's like the Cubano freaking Mr. Rogers in that thing, you know?
Okay.
So I'm just wearing like an old guy sweater,
okay.
T-shirt,
That's fine.
pair of jeans.
Okay,
Looking
good to
sharp,
know.
though.
Good to know.
Yeah, looking sharp.
All right, you had a question.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I admitted this earlier. Mark Williams is a new name to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, George, one of the big criticisms of Anthony Davis
Mm-hmm.
was not strong enough, your words, not mine, to handle the bigger, heavier, stronger centers in the Western Conference.
That's not accurate.
Let's put context to
No,
it.
that's not accurate.
All right, Last year, he could not handle those types of guys. He did poorly at times defensively against Jokic. Even Nurkic pushed him around, and Sabonis. That is absolutely 1,000% true.
No, it's not.
Okay, then we're gonna throw hands.
We're going
here.
to throw hands. Cappy, do you want to finish?
He was dominated in those games.
No, he wasn't. The reason why he struggled
He couldn't
a little.
stop any of them.
AD had to go out and guard Monk and Fox on the perimeter while Sabonis set up underneath the rim. That was the issue. It's not that he can't guard Sabonis. He kicked Sabonis' ass.
Okay.
Nobody can guard
Sabonis
Jokic.
kicked his ass for like 9 straight games.
No, he was out defending on the perimeter.
Not
and then
for 9
recovering
games.
to the
That
game.
was one season.
No, come on. AD is the best defensive player at the rim. He's just as good as Gobert. Look at the numbers. It's all factual. Nobody can defend Jokic. That's all. That's my point.
Yeah. Anyway, I would disagree, but go ahead, Cappy. What's your question?
Well, this was my question because you see, what George has told me, Michael, is that these other guys in the Western Conference, they're bigger, they're stronger, and that's why they're able to.
No, I said in those games they bullied him, which is not what should happen to Anthony Davis.
By the way, I don't think that what we're saying is that far off.
Right.
So here's my question.
But you're saying they're bigger and stronger means that is like he's like a weakling. That's not what I said.
But I remember us having this conversation, and I was shocked. I was like, stronger than Anthony Davis, and you're like, yeah. And then I started
Jokic
to watch.
is definitely stronger than Anthony Davis. So is Nurkic, for that matter.
I mean, Jokic is bigger than everybody, but he's anyway. Cappy, I assume you're going to ask about Mark Williams.
Well,
in this
yeah. So
context.
here's my question.
Okay.
So I realize Mark Williams is only a 23-year-old, very young man. And that probably means that his body over the next, call it 3, 4, 5 years, let's concentrate on the short term. Let's call it the next 2 years. That his body is probably going to change. He should be getting stronger. He should be gaining weight, I would think. So my question to you guys is if you thought Anthony Davis was pushed around by some of those guys at times in those games, what will this young man look like in comparison?
Go ahead, George.
Double sigh.
Well,
mouth and nose.
I mean, listen, I think
one.
that I don't think they're built the same, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think him and Anthony Davis have the same body when I look at them. Do you?
No, not necessarily. But let me answer the question this way, Cappy. Other than Jokic, who again nobody can guard, and Jokic can kill you from anywhere. He can kill you now. Do you know he's like top 3 in 3-point percentage this year? So he can bring you out to the perimeter. Mm-hmm. He's got all the stuff in the middle of the lane. He'll kill you on the defensive glass. Like, you can't guard even Anthony Davis, who to me is the best defensive big in the league. Wemby is coming fast, okay? But say they're the top 2. They can't guard Jokic. You still have to bring help. You still have to rotate. You still have to have the low man come over. So you're not asking Mark Williams to just go defend Jokic defend anybody in the West. Hartenstein for OKC, or right now Memphis is the 2 seed. Jaren Jackson Jr., or if you play the Clippers, Ivica Zubac. He's banging with those guys for a little bit, and then you're bringing help and swarming bodies, no matter who, if it's AD or Mark Williams or whoever.
To Trudell's point, Cap, I would say, particularly during the regular season, I would say that it's about 5 guys on a string, right? Like, just kind of a lot of help, defense, things of that nature. Maybe in the playoffs, I think that the isolation stuff where they call a guy up, right? Like, that stuff happens a little more in the half court in the postseason. And what ends up happening is that you have more of those isolated plays in the postseason, and because it's the postseason, it gets magnified more. But I would say in the regular season, I have less of a concern about that kind of stuff.
In those situations George is getting at, that's where AD or I'm trying to think of some other super mobile bigs, like Evan Mobley can get out in the perimeter
he's
a little
very
bit
good
and move his feet.
defender,
most bigs can't do that, and that's not Mark Williams' strength.
Right.
Okay, you're not necessarily
Right.
wanting him to dance and switch 1 through 5
Right.
like you might be able to do with the elite defensive bigs, but you're not going to ask him to do that. What you're going to do in those kind of situations is put Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith in next to LeBron and Luka, and pick your fifth guy. Maybe it's Rui, maybe it's Austin Reeves,
Right, you go
depending
small.
on offense, defense,
Yeah.
and then you move your feet with those guys in the perimeter. If a team's just going to post you up all game, Williams can take those hits inside,
Yeah.
but like he's going to get beat there. Where you get the benefit of him is he's a monster. He's a great rebounder, and that's I think where at the center
Right.
position the Lakers didn't have that as much.
And if you really look at like the West, I mean, Jokic, to Mike's point, is going to take you inside and out. Even a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., he plays.
He's on the perimeter.
He plays in the perimeter a ton,
Yeah.
right? And I'm thinking of like the big bodies, right? Alperen Sengun, maybe not to the 3-point line, but he likes to play around the free throw line extended area too.
Yeah, he'll push you around a little bit, but like he'll do.
Yeah.
Again, that's if he's doing that, then your team isn't taking a bunch of threes. Like it's not threatening
Right.
the rim a
Yeah.
ton.
You want the math. You'd rather take the math equation favor you in that way. Honestly, if he has to be the sacrificial lamb in that sense, then so be it.
But Cappy, where he helps you a little bit more, offense is I think he's helping you a little bit more even than defense because like just setting the screen for Luka or LeBron.
Yeah, he's a good screen
taking
setter.
the gravity to the rim, rolling hard, and then being set up for an offensive rebound while you let the guys in the perimeter do everything else. Like that's going to lead to some elite offense, I think.
Yeah, and again, he's fine defending the rim too. Like I don't think he's a bad defender at the rim. I think maybe sometimes he's also played on a bad team for a long time, right? So you build a lot of bad habits playing on a bad team. I think that stuff will get cleaned up. To Mike's point earlier about how JJ can kind of fix some guys very quickly, right? He gives very pointed direction. So I think that stuff will work itself out over time. I'm guessing he'll have some bad habits coming in that they'll have to fix a little bit.
All right, last thing for me.
Yeah.
In terms of his injury history,
Not great.
Tell me more about that, because here's one thing that I consider: that when you play on a bad team and you have some slight injuries, you kind of probably are like, I'm going to be over here resting and rehabbing because we stink. So I don't want to know if I want to sacrifice myself or take the chance of getting hurt worse. But when you come to a playoff contender and potentially a championship contender, you might find yourself playing through some nagging stuff. So my question to you guys is, give me a little bit of what you know on the injury history.
All right, so year one, a lot of ankle sprains that kept him in and out of the lineup. He had a thumb surgery, though. I think that finished the season, if I recall correctly. Year two, he was out for the year, I think, with a back injury.
He had a back thing,
And then this past season, it's just been a lot of like lower leg injuries that have kept him in and out of the lineup.
He had a left foot fracture.
Oh, there
He
you
had a
go.
left foot
So there it
fracture,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I actually want to say this, Cappy. You just raised a great point. A great NBA
Look at that,
insider point.
Come on, man.
Okay, when you are on a bad team and you're a young guy that has promise for the future,
You don't want to play on a bad team.
well, the
Or
reason
risk the injury,
No,
too.
I don't even think it's the player making the decision. To me,
team, you're
I think a lot of times these teams are like, you know
Tankorama.
what? Let's go ahead and take not just the conservative route, Cappy. Let's instead of this guy, if it were the playoffs, right, you could play the next day. Let's take a month and really get back 100%, and let's check out our backup guy. Like losing basketball, basically, right? Loser mentality and not having any interest in having a guy back quicker. So I don't know the specifics of the injuries. Like only he knows that with his team. But I do think you see this a lot whenever I'm watching some of these teams, whether it's a Washington this season and a guy gets a tweak. Right now it's happening with Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr had an ankle sprain like 3 weeks ago, and he hasn't played since. Right? And he probably could have played 2 weeks ago. So I think that's a great point that you raised, Cappy, and we'll see if that ends up playing out. Because like you said, when the games matter and your teammates are serious and the organization's trying to win, then those things end up not keeping a guy out for nearly as long.
All right, Cappy, you have any more questions?
George, I see that smirk.
Oh, no, I'm just reading a text from somebody. It was funny.
Because I thought that smirk said, my boy Cappy. Yeah. See, he's on this.
I was happy you got a good.
Hold on. I just said that explicitly, but it looks
and
like
I'm-
you really want George's approval. You don't
Oh,
care
I
about
do
my
want his
approval.
approval. I do.
I just literally told
I
you
do.
that was a great point.
I know, and I
you're waiting to
appreciate
see
it,
if George
but
liked it.
I got a text from the baby bird, so I was just laughing at something he said. Sorry.
Who's the baby bird?
Noah Eagle.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, Cap, you got anything else? Because we got to go to Radio Tinder.
Thanks, Mike, by the way. Appreciate you, man.
I mean, jeez. Sound like you didn't really care that much.
No, I did care.
Okay.
All right, Radio Tinder's up next. But first, let me tell you about Jacob. Listen, we've told you forever, right? You get into any kind of accident, you have any kind of issues, you call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 send you. So our guy Jacob, very concerned about the impact of these wildfires and they're having here on the Southland. The wildfires can leave lasting scars on our homes and health and, of course, our communities. So if you've been injured or dealing with damage to your property, you don't have to face this horrific situation alone. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. When disaster strikes, your recovery shouldn't be a fight, guys. Let Jacob and his team do the fighting for you and provide the representation that you deserve while getting you what you're owed. Jacob and his team, man, their thoughts and prayers are with all of you who are being affected by these wildfires, either directly or indirectly through friends or loved ones. So if you or someone you know has been injured or suffered property damage due to these wildfires, call Jacob for a free case review, man. You got nothing to lose. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online. CallJacob.com. Jacob and his team, man, they are here to help. And together, we will rebuild.
The City of Stars has a new superstar.
Luka Doncic.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons, and we want to buy your house.
If you're considering selling your home for any reason, let Seller's Advantage show you a better way to sell your home.
With no agent fees, no commissions, no hassles, and no repairs.
Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days. We don't just promise more, we deliver a much better customer experience.
Check out our Google reviews and see how.
Call Seller's Advantage or visit sellersadvantage.com for free, no obligation cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from Almonte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Place in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
And it is Sedano and Kap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland, Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Not a wrestling theme, by the way, Cappy.
Nope, I think I got this one, though.
You got it? You got it? Let's hear it.
I mean, it sounds like SNL to me.
It is. Not.
Not SNL.
It's The Tonight Show, starring Jay Leno. Well, so in 2014, Jay Leno hosted his final.
The SNL one is very similar.
It's super similar.
Yeah.
The SNL was
yesterday
more,
I had no idea.
Is it like the same band that does SNL
think
that
so.
goes
They
over
might,
to do
yeah.
the-
NBC might
right?
just have them,
Yeah.
Just like
do
their
all the
studio
music.
crew.
Or they just have like the instruments stay on set there, you know.
The guy with the alto sax is the man. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess solid.
I love a good horn section.
Yeah.
I had no
What?
idea.
Yeah. Me too, Cappy.
I
Cappy,
do. I
played
love
I played
horns.
sax in high school, buddy.
I love a good horn section. Yeah,
Yeah.
You played sax?
Yeah. Well, How
Nice.
about you?
No, I was more of a percussionist
Oh.
myself.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to
Maybe we
ask you,
should
Mike.
Start a band.
Since you played the saxophone, so my best friend in middle school, like growing up,
Yeah.
she played the saxophone.
What was her name?
Melanie. She
Melanie.
loved it.
Shout
You know
out.
her?
But she would get this horrible rash underneath, like right here from like the reed. And I feel like a lot of people that played the saxophone would get this permanent like red mark under their chin right there from the reed. Did you ever get that?
Nah, I never got the rash.
Quite a sacrifice.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't play it as
Well,
much as her.
Yeah, she didn't get a lot of boyfriends because of it, because it looked like something else going on
Oh.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
boy.
Wow.
Just saying, it was
that's-
gross.
that's
And I remember
gross.
being like, why are you playing the saxophone? Like, we're in middle school. Hello? Like, this is a little more important.
Yeah, play the flute.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, wow. That's. I'm sorry about that, Melanie. I hope you recovered. I hope she's married.
I
with
feel like
kids and-
Melanie's doing
Right.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
how's
sure
she
Right.
doing
Like, hey,
now?
Melanie, is that
She
a
okay?
cold
She
sore?
actually
No.
recently got
No.
divorced, so
Oh.
it might
That
have
might be a
something
good
to do
thing,
with
though.
it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's true. No, it is
Could be
good.
better.
Could be something to celebrate, to be
That's
honest
right.
with you.
Right,
That's right. You never
100%.
know.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of being married, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford recently said that he plans on playing in 2025, and we assume that he's going to play for the Rams. However, after hearing what Matthew's wife, Kelly, said today on her podcast the morning after,
What did she say?
well, here's what she said.
I wasn't planning on discussing this, but hell, why not? My husband wants to win. He's not trying to put a team in a bad situation. If you're catching my drift, you're catching my drift. I will say that the trading away of Cooper,
Oh, boy.
I guess I'm just I'm confused because we were one play away from going to the NFC Championship. And I think if we go, we win. I have to be the dog in this situation, being like, I want the respect for him that he deserves. Yes, I love the city of LA. I love the city of LA. With that being said, I love an adventure.
Oh,
If I'm Matthew Stafford, I hate every second of this.
Oh,
I was
know.
thinking
It's
the
like,
same thing.
At some point, do you start to say to her, please stop. You're making it so much more difficult for me.
I would absolutely have that conversation.
so you would think.
Well, I can be honest with my wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And I'm sure he can too. But maybe he's like, hey, he doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe some guys are like that. I don't care. I can take whatever heat comes. I would be annoyed by it, and I would be like, hun,
So for context,
can we figure
though-
this out? Like,
Yes.
seriously?
For context, though, this clip that I just played was an edited clip with dramatic music playing underneath that she posted to
Okay,
her own
she posted,
Instagram
right,
reel.
yeah, she's
so you
farming.
have to imagine that, like, he's definitely part of this, and maybe this is all part of a ploy to make sure that the Rams pay him what he wants to pay, or pay him what he wants
I'm
next
sure
year.
he's in on it,
Right.
right, yeah.
He's got to be in on it. So.
But
maybe-
I was just saying it would annoy me.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like it's a little ridiculous, but
It annoys me now.
yeah, I was going to ask you guys, do you think that the Rams will pay Matthew Stafford what he wants, and he'll be the quarterback starting week 1 next year? Swipe left or swipe right. George, you go first.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the quarterback week 1 this year. I think Kirk Morrison came on this show this year and said that he thinks the Rams, if not this year or next year, are going to be looking for a quarterback. If not both years. Like, it doesn't mean just because you don't draft one in the first round doesn't mean you're not going to try to develop one. So, yeah, like, the end of Matthew Stafford is coming. Like, there's no doubt, whether it's this year or this upcoming year or the one after that. So you have to prepare for it.
I would just say this, that yesterday, George, Kevin Demoff was on the show.
Yeah.
And the one thing I took away from it was he seemed to keep the door open on Cooper Kupp's return, which I thought was kind of weird. And yet he seemed to have a tone that intimated that they're not completely married to Matthew Stafford.
Oh.
And I say it like that. You could go back and listen and see if you hear the same thing. But I will just say that Kelly Stafford has been very vocal from the beginning, so it's not new for her to say a lot of stuff. And some of the stuff she has said has been wrong, by the way.
Right.
Remember when she said that whole thing? Well, it's very hard for Matthew to communicate with these young kids on the team.
Yeah.
And then he comes
and then
out.
him and Puka were like super tight.
Right. So I just know this. She's very involved.
Yes.
She doesn't just speak publicly. She's involved behind the scenes. And so I always feel like she understands the media and how to use it to get what she wants for Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that case, good for her. Right? Just looking out for her man. Like, he understands who his wife is. He understands she's got this career and in the way that she can help push things in a direction that perhaps Matt wants but doesn't want to have to go say himself. I get that. That's a power couple, Cappy.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, she is saying the things that he probably feels and doesn't want to say. You say it, babe.
Yeah.
Right,
And then
'cause
he can have plausible deniability.
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
you know?
So then he can get the message out without being the bad guy.
I mean, look, that's not the first time this has happened in negotiations of many kinds.
Also, I mean, they did parlay her media savviness into a dual Sleep Number commercial.
Yeah, and they also have that Will and Trust website thing.
Yeah.
they do.
But I
That's
see them-
actually a great product.
It is a great product.
I was watching ESPN the other day, and I saw Matthew Stafford and Kelly Stafford. They're in the bed together, and she's on camera with him, and they're like, "Oh yes, we love our Sleep Number bed." And I was like, "Good for them."
I could use one of those.
I mean, plus he's
Should start doing commercials.
Hey, Tommy, how about you get me a Sleep Number, bro?
Yeah,
Come
let's
on,
do it.
Tommy, get off your ass and do something.
Seriously. hold on, Tommy. Don't these guys have enough? Just get your boy here a little side deal. I get
You
it.
can
the
get a
host
Sleep
the one.
Number, too, if
Yeah,
you
just
want.
Give me a little side deal here.
Hey, the
Yeah.
Sleep Number bed that we want to get is for 3 different people. You got George's side, you got Mike in the middle, and you got my side.
There you go.
Have it in studio. Do the show like that.
That would be funny. We could totally put that in. That'd be a great bit.
Put that in my office instead of the chair.
No, and you know what? We can invite Mason and have him eat a steak on it.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Cappy, the thing about being in the middle, that means that I have to climb over one of the two of you.
You can go.
Are
No, you don't have to climb over. You can go
No?
from like
The
the
other
bottom
way?
into the middle.
It's a little harder that way. No, but if you're under the covers, it's a little harder to do it that way. 'Cause you have to go,
Not with a Sleep Member.
I would be like this. I'd be like, Mike, get in. And then I'd get in after you.
But you do need to realize, though, Mike, that Cap's got to warn you. He does sleep naked, and he does allow Jack the Frenchie to sleep with him naked in the bed.
Correct.
Well, as Cappy knows, as a former Frenchie owner, that would not be a problem for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm good
See?
with the Frenchie. Yeah.
There you go. All right, DeAndre's got the next one.
Alrighty, so we know the NBA trade deadline this year took over the whole internet, and we see a lot of players get bounced around and moved. However, Steve Kerr, the Warriors head coach, had his own opinion on how he felt about the NBA trade deadline this year.
I think the league should consider making the trade deadline, at the All-Star break. Just so you don't have to face these games where guys are getting traded half an hour before and a game, and you're trying to process the emotions and trying to win a game. I don't know if it's possible, but it'd be great if we could move it back or make the last couple of days, before the deadline, like off day. I don't know how to do it, but these are tough days for sure.
So should the NBA consider moving the NBA trade deadline after the All-Star break? Swipe left, swipe right, Sedano.
Yeah, I would swipe right. I would do it right after because you get those 4 days or whatever it is, and then that way all the maneuvering that can come down to those 4 days. And it doesn't mean trades won't happen before, like we saw kind of with Luka or whatever. But I just think that it will be more beneficial. I think Steve makes a good point. Yes.
I'm going to go the opposite direction here, and I'm going to say that it would be a bad idea to move the trade deadline.
I know why.
Here's why. Because think
Drama.
about what we've talked about earlier today. Think about what the NBA did this week.
To the
Here we
NFL.
are
Yeah.
on Radio Row.
Yeah, but that not every
and-
year is this.
No, I realize that. But what I'm saying is that when big deals happen, the sports media world focuses on it. And I will just tell you from being down here in New Orleans this week, I don't know anybody that knows anything about this Kansas City-Philadelphia game or even cares.
Wait, is the Super Bowl even happening this week?
See, that's my point. Seriously.
That's
I'm not
this
joking
weekend?
around. Like, it is. And even I'm here, Mike, and I barely know what's happening. Because everybody's been focusing on the NBA and what the NBA has done.
So there's no way like Roger Goodell is happy this week.
Oh,
No
yeah,
chance.
no
Oh,
way.
no chance.
I mean, did you guys see DeAndre sent in the group chat last night the video of a fan breaking the news of the trade
to the Miami
Heat
Heat.
bench,
Yeah.
and Kevin Love's like, "What'd we get? What'd they get?"
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Kevin Love, by the way, during this whole Jimmy
He's
Butler thing,
so
has
funny.
been the king of content
His IG
on
is the best.
Instagram.
Yeah,
He's
crushing.
been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the All-Star break needs to actually be a break.
Yeah.
And if you extend it out there, then that means that every single executive in the league is basically jailed to the office for the whole time, and including players like, what are you going to go to Mexico if you're not in the All-Star game and just like wait by your phone to see if you got
but
traded?
if you're chilling in Cabo, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter until you get back.
You get
You're
back
going
anyway.
back to a different city.
Nah, you need to. I need to go on vacation during All-Star break.
Where you going?
Hawaii.
Oh, look at you. Very nice.
Nice job.
Otherwise, you'll be like George, and you'll be changing all your plans here at the last minute because they're flexing games and whatnot.
Yeah, by the way, Michael, I'm sure you'll be going to my home away from home at LAX, where changes are arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. I don't know if you know this, Michael, but the LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces.
That sounds good.
As was hundreds of EV charging stations, okay? Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. By the way, they just added those in the American Airlines terminal. I just saw that. I was on American recently. New facility will have all major rental car brands under one roof when your friends and family come to visit. And in the future, if you're local, you don't even need a car to get to LAX. The People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro, so you can take the Metro to the Century Station. People Mover train will pick you up right to your terminal. So for more information, go to their website, flylax.com. For more info, that's flylax.com.
LeBron.
Here's LeBron down the middle with a thunder dunk.
Luka.
This for me is the first time.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
After 30 years and more than 20,000 transactions, Seller's Advantage knows how to get you more for your home.
No agent fees, no commissions, just an as-is cash offer.
Call Seller's Advantage or visit sellersadvantage.com.
With the devastating fires that have struck Southern California, there are options for you if you're dealing with food insecurity. It is the LA Regional Food Bank. You can go to lafoodbank.org/fire. We are also looking for collections from you. All kinds of stuff needed for people that are dealing with the fire right now. Please join us in helping our friends and neighbors who are dealing with this tragedy.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STREAK to 321-321. That's STREAK to 321-321.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, Rickroll today, baby.
All right.
Is it his birthday? Yeah, it is. 59 only? I would have thought he was older than that.
Me too.
Wow.
Damn.
Babe Ruth's birthday today.
How old is he?
I mean,
he's dead.
He's dead,
Oh.
right? Yeah. 1895. What would he be? So
1895? 130.
130 he would have been.
Yeah.
You know, Elsie and Key used to tell me that they thought Babe was a brother.
Oh, he definitely was a brother.
He was.
Was a brother?
Yeah.
Oh, for 100%.
That's what Elsie and Key said. I'm like, yo, I buy it.
Yeah, why not?
So, Funky, what do you say? Babe Ruth was a brother? Babe Ruth? He seems confused.
He sounded
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah. Funky's here, by the way.
Does Funky know who Babe
I'm
Ruth
here.
is?
Yeah. Does Funky know what?
If you know who he is,
Who Babe Ruth
is.
was.
Of course he knows.
The maker of the candy bar.
That's right. That's right. Candy bar guy. Good job,
Funchy's
Funch.
got his members-only jacket on today.
He's got the sleeves rolled up like he's Rob Pelinka?
No, not
No,
that.
he doesn't have his sleeves
He doesn't have
rolled
that
up.
kind of jacket on.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That's like a new look.
Yeah.
Sleeves rolled up.
There you go.
Sleeves up.
Cappy, we have a short segment here, but you wanted to tell me we were going to do it in the next segment. Let's just do it here. Radio Row, you were telling me you had a guest on the Cappy Cast today, but apparently this person knows you and me.
This guy comes over to the show today.
Yeah.
And his PR person says, "Hey, Scott, do you want to have this guy on the show?" And I'm like, "Of course I do." So he brings him over, and he goes, "Oh, my God, Cap." And the guy gives me this big hug. "I love you guys. I'm such a huge fan. Where's Sedano?" And I'm like, "Well, this is actually the Cappy Cast." Right? I'm like,
Sorry,
these are my
dude.
boys.
Yeah.
I got my boy Grande over here. I got my boy Browner over here.
Yeah.
This is the Cappy Cast. He goes, "Where's Sedano?" I go, "Sedano's busy, bro. Sedano's out calling every NBA game there is. He's doing 14 games tonight." Okay? You ready for this?
Who is it?
Tony Khan.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Yes.
George, Tony Khan.
He's coming on with us next week, by the way.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know
coming
if
on
he knows
next
it.
week. Yeah.
He
Is he
loves
coming in
us.
studio?
I think so.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Apparently, he's got I guess in early March. I want to say it's like March 9th. Don't quote me the exact date, but
They
I'm
have
pretty
a
close.
pay-per-view, right?
Huge AEW show coming back to L.A.
Yeah.
And he can't wait to come on the show to promote it.
Yeah.
Now, his dad has a
Shad
boat.
Khan. Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars owner, right?
His dad has a boat
Yeah.
that is parked on the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, right next to where all those, gambling paddle boat thingies are.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 300-foot, $500 million yacht.
Wow.
A mega
sitting
yacht.
there.
Yeah.
A mega yacht. Exactly right.
Right.
Unbelievable. So I ask him, I go, "Yo, man," I go, "this yacht, your dad's yacht." And he's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm staying on it."
Were you like, can I get in on that?
Yeah.
I'm
dude.
like, "So if I show up, what do I do? Do I say, 'Hey, I'm here to see Tony'?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, me and my dad could be busy." I go, "Busy?" I go, "You guys could be in one end zone. I'll be in the other end zone. You won't even know I'm there."
That's true. Yes.
It is the most spectacular thing you've ever seen. A $500 million ultra mega yacht.
He's
spectacular.
tight. He's boys with my agent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't know this. I found this out much later. This is the last time we had him on.
So did you
He's
get
such
the
a good
invite,
dude.
Cap, or what? Like, you get the, yeah, come on by, or no?
No, I didn't get the come
Oh,
on by.
dang
I didn't
it.
get that. I know. But he's such a good dude.
I was hoping that
and
for
he's-
you.
And he's a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
And he tells me, he's like, "Dude, I'm in L.A. all the time. I listen to Sedano and Cap." He's like, "I'm a big fan." He's like, "I want to come in and promote the AEW show." So it was really cool to see him. He's such a down-to-earth, normal
Oh, yeah.
kind
Super
of
normal guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's actually going to be on with us this past Tuesday. But
right, but
then the Luka thing
I told
happened.
Lindsay the trade deadline. It's
Yeah.
who knows, it just And then the Luka thing happened. It was like, let's just push it back.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of the Luka thing, there is a report out there now, George, that says that Luka
Mark
is
Stein
not,
is saying that maybe that Monday is the target. Well, listen, if it's Monday, it's Monday. We're going to do this game on Saturday anyway. And what I'll say is this: in the past, when Luka was hurt, I remember in Dallas. I want to say it was a game here in L.A. He was hurt and in street clothes, and I interviewed him in game. Maybe the Lakers would be kind enough to let us do that. So who knows? Like it does. I still think for us, it's a win-win just to have a game where Luka Doncic and the Lakers could potentially be playing. And by the way, none of this happens if the NBA doesn't sign off on it too. You know what I mean? Like it's not just an ESPN joint.
So it's not like they flexed it just because they thought he might possibly.
Well, no, you flex it because he might possibly play.
They don't think,
but
well, yeah,
it has to be
probably.
approved by like the highest levels of the National Basketball Association. This isn't like just us imposing our will.
I think that when you talk about Luka and when he's not dressed in uniform,
Oh, you're saying because of Anthony Davis?
right?
Just
So
bring
because
it
like Luka's coming in sort of hurt,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not like ready to immediately walk in, put on uniform, and get on the floor.
Yeah.
So I think what's another phrase for somebody wearing their
Not in
civvies?
uniform.
Not non-uniformed player.
Yeah, not in uniform. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I think you got to try and stay away from the phrase street clothes.
Okay, I will, Cappy.
When it applies to
Just,
Luka.
it brings back bad memories is what you're saying.
PTSD. That's all I'm saying.
No. Okay,
You know what I mean?
that's fine. I'm all good with that.
All right. Good.
All right, anything else you got from Radio Row or like football this week or anything? No?
Football. Let me tell you something about football. There is nobody here who knows there's a football game.
Everybody's there to party or talk about the NBA?
I swear to you, George, it's the funniest thing. I've not had one person come to me and go, hey, this guy's going to break something down, or this guy's got an interesting take. The only things that people might even be talking about related to the Super Bowl itself is gambling.
Oh.
Otherwise,
I get that.
they don't. Nobody even knows there's a game going on right now.
Right. Yeah.
So, Cappy, quick question: since you are also doing the Cappy Cast from Radio Row,
do
you have a lot of these, these bookers coming around? They're pushing guests. They're trying to be like, hey, you got a couple minutes for so and so, and he's promoting blah blah blah. Have you had many of those with the Cappy Cast?
I have had a lot of those.
Can you tell me what the weirdest one is?
I had this one person ask me, hey, can we confirm to get on your show with this guy who's like a TED Talk speaker and a golf guy and blah, blah. And I'm like, I looked at his bio and I'm like, listen, with all due respect, it's just not in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to like say no politely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody assumes that they can just walk around and jump on show to show to show. I don't want everybody on the show.
But I mean,
we had this
product-wise, anything weird?
Not really. I haven't had anybody pushing a product, but I will say this. I had on a girl yesterday. Do you guys know who she is? Because I didn't. Her name is Paige Sporonic.
Yes.
You know who that is?
No.
Yes.
Okay. George, she's
like a golf influencer.
Yeah, but let's be honest about it. She's like a smoking hot
She's a
golf
model.
influencer,
Oh, yeah, she's a model.
You know?
Morales knows who she is.
But she blew us up yesterday, you know, just in terms of like her social media following, and she kind of retweeted stuff and re-Insta stuff, and so that was kind of cool.
Awesome.
And then I buried the hatchet with Sean Merriman yesterday.
Oh, look at you. That's right. You
Kind
told us
of.
that. Lights out. Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I very much buried the hatchet.
Oh, I thought you said that you left something to like lingering. No.
No, put it this way: if I needed Sean this afternoon, based on what else was happening here,
You would have gotten your back.
Yeah, he had me.
All right.
He had my back.
Well, Cappy, speaking of, we got to get back. We got to get back to the trade deadline. We've talked a lot about the Lakers, but like the West has gotten better. Let's talk about that on the other side a little bit in our commercial-free 30 minutes leading up to Lakers Warriors tonight. But first, let's talk about Books. Listen, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, man. Let's tackle that age-old question. What do you get your significant other for Valentine's Day? Don't stress. I got the answer. Foolproof flowers from the Books Company. Wow your Valentines and get 25% off the entire purchase with the promo code ESPN. Go to Books.com, BOUQS.com. Books makes it simple. Choose the Quickie Book, man. Click of a button, one click. Get the best-selling bouquet right now in time for Valentine's Day. It's the Quickie they'll brag about for weeks. Or if you pick from the collection of unique modern designs, or you can go for their flower subscription, the #1 life hack, and you'll be the hero every month. You really can't go wrong. Bouquets aren't just flowers or any flowers. They're cut fresh from the best flower farms in the world, even on the side of a volcano, some of them. They'll be blown away by how stunning they are and how long they last. Valentine's Day is February 14th, right after the big game, so don't fumble the flowers. Get your order in now. Go to Books.com. Use the promo code ESPN, 25% off with that. We're hooking you up. That's BOUQS.com, promo code ESPN. Books, promo code ESPN.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco.
It's T-Raj and D-Far.
Are you going to say it's bright because Luke is white? You got to admit, when you saw Luke in that Laker uniform, like, damn, that's bright. I've never seen those colors pop like that.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
ESPN
So
LA and
Mark Real
Beverly
from Real
Hills
Fathers
Ortho
writes,
are teaming
I
up
always say
because
on
we
the
want to
air,
know who's
you have to have
smiling
the
in
right family
SoCal.
law
Go to
firm.
ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
They buy homes as is with no costly repairs, agents, or commissions. Get a competitive cash offer and close in days or on your timeline. Sellers Advantage has over 20 years of experience and even offers a $10,000 advance for moving expenses. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your no-obligation offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
All right, here's Devin. Hey, Devin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Devin.
Sports Graffiti's lit, the lines are lit, Laker fans are lit, LA's lit, ESPN 710's lit, baby. This move right here, what I don't hear people talking about, it's going to extend LeBron James's career, where we're talking about one more good year. I can see us getting 2 or 3 more good years out of LeBron and us hoisting that trophy in that time. I'm out.
All right, he's out. I love his enthusiasm.
He's already the oldest guy in the league.
Everybody's lit, according to him. We're all lit.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack.
Beep, ba bop.
Yeah.
Boop, ba boop.
Come on.
Do da da da. Boom, ba da bump.
Nice.
Cappy is a great women's basketball game I'm watching right now.
Tell me.
Very traditional, big traditional rivalry. UConn, Tennessee, 2 of the greatest women's basketball programs in the history of the sport, doing battle right now. Pretty cool game, and it's very tightly contested at the moment. So I've been watching that, and then I got TNT on the other TV. So a lot of basketball tonight.
A guy just walked by me here today, George, right by the ESPN set on Radio Row in New Orleans, and he was wearing a T-shirt that said, "Awesome like my daughter."
That's cool.
And I said, brother, I want that shirt. I just want to put an S on the end.
Right.
So it says,
plural.
"Awesome like my daughters."
Yeah. What is Justin going to say when you do that?
He's going to be like, Dad, what about awesome like my son?
And then you'd be like, well, if you were so awesome, then you wouldn't mess up the date in the cited newsletter like you did the other day.
I felt bad. I felt bad about that. Like, because I didn't know it was him that did that.
What happened, Cap? Did he get fired?
No, he didn't get fired. But you may notice, George, that now it is a detail that will never be missed again.
Yeah, I felt bad because I thought it was just one of your paid assistants.
Well, he is a paid assistant.
No, I know, but like the other ones.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
the other ones.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I do indeed. You had said something before the break, and I'm glad you did, because I want to throw a few things your way, and I want you to kind of give me some NBA insider feedback.
Yeah,
okay? Sure. You made a really good point that it's not just what the Lakers did. What the Lakers did in acquiring Luka and with AD going to Dallas.
Yeah.
The next move after that was De'Aaron Fox down to San Antonio.
Right, and now Wemby's got a real running mate. Right, for sure.
And then yesterday, you had already left to go do the broadcast, but
Jimmy,
then the Jimmy Butler thing happens.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, so let's go through some of these. I really want to hear what you think because the West has changed.
All right, let's start with the Warriors because they're playing the Lakers tonight, although Jimmy's not going to play tonight. But I think Jimmy helps the Warriors in a big way. I think that the Warriors' biggest problem outside of – well, first of all, the Warriors' biggest problem, and this is going to sound crazy, is that their offense at times gets bogged down because they no longer have, like, this insane offense that they had for many, many years. So they have to play a little bit of different style of basketball. And listen, in the games I had last week – remember, I was in San Francisco for 2 games, and I have never, ever – seen Steph Curry have to labor so much to try to get baskets and even get offense. Like, they are trapping him sometimes even before he goes across half court. Like, it was crazy. So you bring in a guy like Butler, who is an unbelievable isolation player, and he's a shot maker. Like, I don't think he's a good shooter, but in the playoffs, I've seen him pull up on those threes, and he hits them, man, in rhythm. Like, if he gets in rhythm, forget it. Obviously, he's a big-time playoff performer, and they're trying to kind of inch their way closer out of the play-in if they can. I guess there's still some slim hopes they can do that. But, yeah, he helps them. You know what else he does? He gets to the free throw line, and that's something the Warriors could not do at all either. And that also helps them defensively, where they're already very good. They're still a very good defensive team, but that helps even more because you get to rest for a little bit when the guys go to the free throw line. And Jimmy's capable any given night 8 to 10 times at the free throw line. So I do think he helps them in a big way. He's an upgrade over Andrew Wiggins particularly, although Wiggins a much better shooter. But still an upgrade, I think, come playoff time. Maybe less so in the regular season, although I think he'll help there too. I do think the Warriors are probably one player short from being like a real contender. But now they're a really tough out in the playoffs. And if it frees up Steph just a little bit, who knows, man, what could happen.
Tell me this, though. I have a perception of Jimmy Butler, and it's mostly about what's happened here in the last, call it like, 6-8 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and I got it. Like, Pat Riley is the only guy left, at least the way I see it, that is willing to, like, stand up to the players. Like, you don't run my organization, I run my organization. Mm-hmm. He's got the clout to do that.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Butler not a good teammate?
I wouldn't say he's not a good teammate. What I would say is he can be aloof at times. Some nights he's the coolest dude in the room, and everybody's laughing at him and having fun with him. And some nights it's just he's to himself, and you just never really know what you're going to get from night to night. And I would say there's more of the aloofness when he's disgruntled about his pay structure, let's call it.
Okay.
And that doesn't matter where it's been. Chicago, Philly, Minnesota, and now Miami. And Miami paid him, by the way. Miami gave him one extension. They just wanted him to earn, quote unquote, the second one. And he wasn't about that, like it felt like.
So do you think that he goes to Golden State?
And by the way, Golden State, he got an extension, but it was really just one more year, which Miami would have done one more year, but he wanted 2 more years from them at the beginning of the season. So do you think
he goes to Golden State, he's happy with the extension, he's happy with the trade, and that he shows up and he's like, if he's
getting paid, if he's getting his money, he's happy.
Okay, so he says to Steph, hey, I'm joining your team, I got it, I'm not going to show up late to a flight, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming so, sure.
Yeah. No, I just have this perception
but I will
all of a
say
sudden
this,
that he's not a good teammate.
I will say this. Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra are very close, and they had not, they were pretty cool before, but then they had the Olympic experience together over the last, several months and years or whatever. So they're very close. So I'm sure Spo has given him the download.
All right. So there's Jimmy Butler. I guess Jimmy gets the win out of this because he wanted out of Miami, and it didn't. It looked like
I thought Miami did well too. I mean, they got Wiggins and a first-round pick. I mean, in this coming draft, which is going to be a good draft. So, I think they both made out pretty well.
Andrew Wiggins, right? Drafted by
Cleveland. Yes, this is for you. And then LeBron traded him for Kevin Love.
Exactly.
Before he even played a game.
Great move too.
LeBron did that.
Great move.
Yeah. Well, listen. In Cleveland, LeBron ran the show. There's no. You'll never get an argument about that from me.
Well, he ran the show here too until they drafted Bronny.
Yeah, I think more of a collaboration here than
and
you want to admit.
Then the organization took it back.
Anyway,
Go
ahead,
Bronny.
Evan Cohen. Sorry.
What about San Antonio? What about De'Aaron Fox?
I
being
love
moved?
De'Aaron Fox for them. I think that De'Aaron Fox is one of. So it's funny, like every couple of years we have like a guy who people like deem as kind of like. Would you agree, DeAndre? Like kind of like the underrated guy, right? For many years, it was Mike Conley, right? Like Mike Conley was like, man, how has Mike Conley not made an All-Star game, right? And it's just like, point guard is hard, to make the All-Star game. So Fox is kind of one of those guys. Fox, I think, has made one All-Star team. But Fox is incredible. Like, he was always a great offensive player, right? Like, could take anybody off the dribble. He's one of the fastest guys in the sport, Cappy. Incredible handles. And, then his shot started to come very early in his career. And then the last couple years, I'll give Mike Brown a lot of credit. I know he got fired. I think it was nonsense he got fired, although they have played better after him. But I don't think that has anything to do with the coaching. I just think that guys get shaken up when things like that happen. Mike Brown got him to play defense the last 2 or 3 years in a way that he did not. So he's become a more all-around player. And, so he is a really good point guard. I think he's a top 7 to 10 point guard. And you pair him with Wemby, I love that combination. If they get a wing player, look out. They are a championship-level team.
All right, now, the Kings traded Fox. They brought back, not necessarily
in the 3-team deal, right?
Right.
They get Zach LaVine from Chicago.
Anything there? I mean, to me, that's just sort of a throwaway.
No, I don't think it's a throwaway. I think Zach LaVine's a very talented offensive player. He's dealt with a lot of injuries recently. He's under contract for a long time, so if you're Sacramento, that's what you're looking for. You don't want a guy who can just who's not going to be there for a while at least, because it's not like you're getting a ton of free agents to come to Sacramento. So now he's being paired with DeMar DeRozan. Those two guys have familiarity with each other from Chicago. You make the case it wasn't like this tremendous success, right? They were like a play-in team for the most part. But I think in the West, if you can be a play-in team, all things considered, if you're Sacramento, you'd take that right now when your franchise player is no longer part of your team. So I think they could have done way worse. I don't look at Sacramento as a serious threat by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're a play-in team, and I think Zach LaVine is fun to watch.
The Clippers are right
Hold
behind
on,
the Lakers.
D's got something. D's got something.
I would say, would you consider Zach LaVine a volume shooter?
Yes.
He goes into games, he shoots the ball a ton.
Yeah.
But the Kings' problem going in every single year is that they can't defend.
Right.
So you add Zach LaVine, who's not known
Not
for
a good
defense,
defender,
and
right.
DeMar DeRozan, you pair him up again when they're already not too great on-ball
right.
defenders.
They're going to you need a guy like Keegan Murray to defend now a lot. I mean, he's a good defender anyway. Keegan Murray's probably their best perimeter defender to begin with. Him and Fox were the two best guys. There's more pressure now on a guy who's in his third season. And
then Malik Monk's now their starting point guard. And
Right.
He's not
a point
role.
guard.
That's
He's
not-
a six-man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they're not a real threat. But again, Cappy, you could do a lot worse than Zach LaVine, is what I would say.
Let me hear what you think about what the Clippers did. They're right now, they're one game behind the Lakers.
Yeah.
I guess technically they're 2.5 games back in the standings. They're one win fewer.
Right.
What do you think about what the Clippers did?
I like Bogdan Bogdanović. He's a good player. He defends fairly well. He can shoot the you-know-what out of the ball. There's no doubt about that. And he can he's a 3-level scorer. I don't think there's any question about that. He can get to the free throw line. He can shoot it in the mid-range. He likes to get to the cup. And then he can clearly shoot it from 3. So as Shaq likes to say, if he's got Vitch in his name, you know he can shoot. But yeah, I like it. It's a solid, nice, under-the-radar move for them that I think will pay some dividends. I think Ty will get the best out of him for sure.
All right, let me bring it all home down. So the Lakers make the move for Luka. Everybody knows the story there. Then yesterday they make a move that they get a center, which is something that everybody knew they needed once AD left.
Yeah.
Now you got a 23-year-old center who's already got a bunch of NBA playing experience.
Mark Williams, yep.
You've got a Luka Doncic who's only 25 years old, and we know what his resume says.
Yeah.
You've got the Lakers who have played inspired, motivated basketball the previous couple of games in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lakers right now are in the number 5 spot in the standings.
Right.
It actually looks and feels like for the first time in the last 3 years that rather than the Lakers having to play their way in and struggle, that they're going to find themselves in the top 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. But can they do what they did a couple years ago when they made that run to the Western Conference Finals?
Yes, I think they can.
Right, because remember, they
yeah.
made a whole bunch of moves, and then LeBron came back from injury, and it took him about 6, 7, 8 games because it was late in the season.
Yeah.
LeBron was hurt, and they got it together enough in time to make that run to the conference finals.
All you want to do, Cappy, here. Look, all you want to do, just avoid Denver in the first round. Just avoid Denver. Now, right now, they're not avoiding Denver. They would face them in the first round. So that would not be good. Because if you thought Jokic was going to town on AD, who's actually a good defender, poor Mark Williams has no chance, okay? And again, it doesn't matter who they throw out there against Jokic, as Mike was saying earlier when Trudell was in here. But just avoid Denver in the first round. If you can avoid Denver in the first round, you've got a chance, is what I would say, to at least get to the conference finals, potentially. So, and to me, that would be a really, good season for the Lakers.
Dude, that'd be a huge win.
That'd be a huge win. Consider you threw everything together here kind of at the last second, to your point. I'd be totally fine with that, at least this year. And look, if you get the right matchup, look, Oklahoma City, I just had them yesterday. And they're really good. And they're about to get Chet Holmgren back. And I think that they're only going to get better as time goes by. We are going to spend a lot of time in the basketball world in Oklahoma City because they're just that good. But I don't know if they're unbeatable. I don't believe that. They struggle from times from three. When I had them at NBA Cup, not only did they struggle from beyond the arc, but Milwaukee kind of bullied them physically between Giannis and Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis and all their bigs, right? So those are their kind of two Achilles heels, and I think that they can be beat. So I don't think it's like they're a lock, even though they are the odds-on betting favorite to make it to the finals. Now, if they get to the finals, all bets are off. I like their chances. But getting out of the West, I don't think is a given.
Last thing from me in this this discussion about all these moves, I got to give Rob Pelinka his books. I really
his flowers,
do.
yeah.
I got to give him his books.
Well, honestly, more so, the Luka thing, as we've talked about, Cappy, I mean, I think 28 other GMs would have done what he did. I honestly think getting Mark Williams, people could say it was an overpay. I don't think it's an overpay because, to me, that's all part of the Luka deal. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is that we've talked for the last 2+, maybe 3+ years about these draft choices that are going to happen when, none of us care about these draft choices.
Right, but now Luka's here, so those draft choices won't be as good.
Right, but the other part of it is that you used one draft choice for Luka, you used another draft choice for Williams. You don't have him anymore, but you've also now got a 23-year-old guy at center who's going to probably get better, get stronger.
And you're going to pay him because he's up for a deal next year, an extension next year.
And you've got Luka, and you're probably looking at a revived LeBron, who, by the way, we say it every year. How's he doing this at this age?
Yeah.
He's doing it again, maybe even better now than even last year.
Yeah.
And so you've taken those picks that we talked about forever, and you found the right time.
Yeah.
You found the right first part of it, and then the second part of it to make it all work. And so to Rob Pelinka, hey, here's your books, man.
Yeah. Go to Books.com. Use the promo code ESPN, 25% off. Cappy, real quick. Also, Dallas is playing right now on TNT, and they're winning. Are they playing Boston tonight?
Yeah, they're kicking their butts.
They
is
are
AD playing tonight?
Is AD on the floor? I haven't checked.
He's not. He's in his street clothes.
Really? See, now you can say that. You just don't want to say that about Luka.
Oh, Funchy, you got TNT over there? Okay. Can you put the women's game on the other TV for me? Yeah, sure. Thank you, buddy.
What a guy. What a guy
Funchy
this,
is a
this
mensch.
Funchy is. What a guy.
He's the only
Selfless.
one who knows how and is tall enough to change
Right.
those TVs.
Hey, I'm tall enough.
Well, besides you. But you don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dallas, I think, is also dangerous. Like I told you the day it happened, of the deal, I still think in the short term they're going to be a viable contender, especially if AD is on the floor and they're good to go. Because I think, with AD, with Kyrie, those two as kind of like your primary scorers offensively. You got a guy like Clay that can stretch the floor, and other great role players, right? You got P.J. Washington, to me, is an elite level role player, right? When Derek Lively comes back, which I think he will before the end of the season, and him and Gafford playing center, I think when they get their big lineup of one of those two and AD, That's going to be hard to score on. Like, it's hard to get into the paint on those guys. So I like Dallas still. And, I know there are teams in the West that didn't make a move. I mean, OKC had Daniel Tice, like, whatever. And these teams made, like, small moves or whatever. But, like, OKC obviously is still great. Houston's on a 4-game losing streak. They're starting to come down to earth a little bit. But Houston feels like they're ahead of their timeline. They are not, like, frustrated by any of this. They understand that they're in it for the long haul. Denver didn't really make a move, but I still feel like Jokic in the playoffs, dude, is going to be incredible. Like, I'm not worried about them. And Jamal Murray's playing better. And I told this to DeAndre. Ty Lewis told me this before. If Aaron Gordon is having a great night, Denver's basically unbeatable. So Aaron Gordon's been in and out of the lineup, dealing with some injuries. If he's healthy come playoff time, they're going to be a monster to deal with. The Suns standing pat, I think people thought was interesting because all the KD smoke. I actually feel like that's an interesting story, Cappy, that he legitimately did not want to go to Golden State. Now, I think that there's some obvious reasons for that, but I don't know if the common fan knows those obvious reasons.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm the common fan, so for me, I don't know if they're obvious or not. The only thing I could think of as to why KD would not want to go to Golden State is because he was ripped so mercilessly the last time he did it because he joined their team and won a championship. And he probably doesn't want to hear it from everybody again to go back and have to try all over again. Is that the reason or not?
Mean, I would say that's part of it. I would say it's multi-pronged. I would say that's part of it. I would also say that KD is a guy that really he's an incredible player. And I like him as a dude. But I think that plays a role, right? He didn't get he didn't get the credit I thought he deserved. I mean, he was the Finals MVP twice. So I get it. I'm not lamenting that for him. I get it. Like I think he deserved way more credit. I also don't think he loved it there. Even winning the championships, like there was it felt like there was this consternation, according to reports, about him and his time there that last year. It just felt like it was a fait accompli that he was eventually going to leave because maybe of what you just mentioned, right? That it didn't work the way he thought it was going to work in that regard, right? He didn't get like the naysayers off his back for winning the championships, even though he was the best player on the floor in those finals.
I guess if he's got this consternation, I mean, there's things that you can do for that. I mean, there's prune
That's
juice.
Constipation.
Oh, yeah. There's probiotics.
Yeah. So
my bad.
And then what I would also say, Cappy, is, what they're not as good. You know what I mean? Like when he joined them the last time. So if he joins them now, it's a similar argument I had with LeBron about this notion LeBron would go to the Warriors. They're not as good. If you go there, if you're KD or LeBron, and you don't win a championship, you're going to be the one taking a lot of the heat. You know what I mean? Like if you go there. So I don't think it's a win. It's kind of a lose-lose situation if you were those guys.
George, as we get ourselves ready for the Lakers and Golden State tonight, let me give you a couple of seconds here on the dealer's choice.
Okay.
The real deal dealer's choice brought to you by Seller's Advantage. Hey, listen. If you want to sell your house, before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They're going to buy it as is with a competitive cash offer, no repairs needed, and they make it so easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a buddy of mine who came down here to New Orleans.
Yeah.
He's working. He's a single guy, and while he's been down here, he's been on the dating apps.
Okay.
And tonight, he has a date.
Oh.
And I said to him, I go, this is a terrible idea. And he said, why? And I said, dude, you're only down here for a few days. You're not exactly looking for love. Why are you going to, on a Thursday night of Super Bowl week with so much going on in this town, why are you going to go on a date with a local lady? Now, on the other hand, the lady, what is she doing? She knows he's in town for the Super Bowl. She knows it's the Thursday night of the Super Bowl week. So I'm trying to figure out, and tell me this, everybody. If you're single and you go to another city, do you immediately jump on the dating apps? And if you do, the person who's on home turf, is this just a hookup?
Yes, Cappy, are you crazy? It's the whole reason why he's on a dating app in a away city. Duh.
I got for him what the deal is, but what about for her?
Same thing.
So she just wants to hook up.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Girls aren't allowed to do that, but guys are. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it, but here's what I told him. I told him what you just said. The woman who accepts the date,
She's
she
no
knows
dummy.
she knows what she's doing. You
She
know
could
what you're
kick
doing.
him out of bed and be like, bye.
Well, so I said to him, I said, this is nothing else other than a pure hookup. So he said, well, what do I do? I said, you invite her somewhere close to where you're staying. You don't want to go to close to where she lives because she's probably not going to invite you to her house. But if you invite her close to where you're staying, this could happen quickly. You guys say, hey, nice to meet you. We did it. High five and move on with your life. So you guys think that's what this is all about?
Of course. What's
Straight
the
up hook
question? He asked you for advice?
Me, I'm the worst guy to ask for advice.
Right. No offense,
not
Kathy,
single.
but I mean, in this situation, it's that you'd be not. If I were him, I feel like maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he's more of a gentleman than you would.
Oh no, no. Oh, Lindsay, make no mistake. You don't know this friend of mine. He's 10 times less the gentleman than I am.
Well, then what's he questioning it? Like, what's the problem? What's the question? I don't get it.
Cast, Linz, they don't know how to have some games, so they're going to go and do this, and it's just a mess, and I'm here for it. It's just a hookup, Cappy.
Well, you don't need really game to be on a hookup app.
You still
If that's
gotta
what
talk
it
to
is.
the
What it
person.
is. You know.
Everybody can use their fingers and type like a champ, right? They all know how to be suave. On Instagram.
It's just a hookup. There's not a whole lot of talking going on.
Yeah, but then they show up and they realize they're only 5'4".
All right, well, I just wanted to check this out. I'll give you guys an update tomorrow.
Hey, is
Did he
it Browner
close the
or
deal?
The other guy? Cappy?
What are you saying, Beto?
Is it Browner or the other guy?
Oh, no, it's neither of my guys.
Yeah, right. This is so Cappy Cast material, man.
Neither of my guys.
then
One
who
of my
it?
guys
Say
is
the name.
married.
Say the name. Who is
One
it?
of my. Well, I don't know if I need to say his name on
You
the radio.
say everything else?
He doesn't need to name names.
Sometimes
no names,
Sometimes I keep people's names
No, you
private.
don't. And I still have a bone to pick with you about that.
Well, his name is Beto Duran.
Yeah, I'm swiping left.
Georgie boy, we got to get out of here. We got to hand things off to Beto.
We do. We do have to hand things off to Beto, Cappy, because the Lakers and Warriors are coming up next. Great job, Cappy, out there. Thanks to Trudell for joining us as well. Thanks to Beto for hanging out. Evan Cohen stopped by. Excellent work. Lindsay, DeAndre, Funchy for his cameo appearance as well. The Circle. We will talk to you mañana. One last day for Cappy.